What's up, guys? Colin from DecoNetwork, and I'm joined as always by
the Zach Dewhurst.
What's going on, man? We're back on another another trade show. This time we're in Long Beach, California, if you can't tell from the convention center behind us, but we're in sunny California, so start of the year. Excited to be here.
Yeah, I mean, it's 60 degrees and people are complaining about how cold it is, and I came from -4 weather in Ohio, so happy to be here. I mean, there is no show like this. I mean, Printing United was a giant show, but not for our industry. It was for all printing. No show comes close to Long Beach impressions. I mean, it is an awesome show, and I'm excited. We're gonna make 2 videos, right?
Yeah, there's gonna be a part 1 and a part 2, which there typically is. So what do you say we go ahead and walk inside and let's take a look at what the show has to offer?
I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff. You know, we've walked the show today. There is some cool new things. There isn't anything like the DTF when it hit a few years ago and became the talk of the town. But again, this show, if you want to get an education on how to run a decoration business and what equipment you may want to be purchasing and all of the different suppliers you have access to, you got to come to Impressions. I mean, you will not get the same experience at any other Impressions or any other show. The Long Beach Expo has always and will continue to be the show. I mean, there's 3 rooms here. It's gigantic, and it is all revolving around apparel printing and a little bit of roll-to-roll and flatbed printing. I mean, it's really geared towards screen, embroidery, D2G, DTF, sublimation, heat transfer vinyl, and a few other unique decoration processes that allows you to embellish.
What do you say we take a stop by our booth really quickly, where we've got a nice location this year. We pretty much go straight in the front door like we just did. We're right here at Stalls. Stalls is typically always in the front and always has a really awesome booth.
As they kind of should have. I mean, Stalls makes great products. They are partnered with Hotronics is one of their brands. Transfer Express. Big company, but yeah, I mean, we at DecoNetwork have been very busy this first day right here at the front, and Colin has been hustling people with his putt-putt skills.
Oh yeah.
All right, Colin, if I sink this, you owe me $10.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close, Zach. That was terrible.
I'm not left-handed.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We'll get it there. But, I mean, again, we don't come to the show to put a ball in a booth. We come to learn, to network, to grow our business. I mean, this show has more than you'll ever see at another. I mean, it is just crazy. And we've been doing a lot of networking, and we're going to be doing a lot of really cool education videos and continue with the webinars. I mean, we're trying to bring the trade show to those who can't come here. It's not cheap to fly across the country, stay in a hotel, and do all of that. So we're trying to bring the trade show to our users and just those who are in the industry. You don't have to be a DecoNetwork user to find our videos or webinars helpful. We try to gear it towards all audiences and help you prevent making the mistakes like somebody like myself has made over the years. So here at Happy Japan, they sell embroidery equipment manufactured in Japan. You can always trust Japanese and German and American engineering. Happy Japan makes some pretty nice embroidery equipment, whether you're looking for a single head, a 2, 4, 6, 8, whether you want to do hats, flats, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different options. It can be a little overwhelming. Okay, which equipment do I go with? You gotta really walk the floor, talk to people, get ideas. When you select equipment, it's not all about just price.
Right.
Customer service, being able to get in touch with a rep is also very important.
Yeah, take a look at this 6 head, Zach.
It's not that loud because it's going 800 revolutions per minute. But yeah, I mean, Happy Japan makes some really nice stuff. So does Sadi. I mean, Sadi is a leader when it comes to all things pre-press equipment and chemical supplies.
Yeah, if you're a viewer of our YouTube channel, then you've probably seen some Sadi videos we've done in the past, and we'll have some future ones coming out.
So yeah, they have the automatic reclaim, they have a automatic squeegee cleaner, and they just came out with this oh, sorry guys. Screen dryer. Really cool to be able to just throw a bunch of screens in there and dry it super fast. And it just gets you on press that much quicker because you're using heat and air.
Right.
Alpha Broder, one of the big 3 suppliers in our industry. We have Alpha Broder's entire product line. We have live inventory, live purchase ordering, and we are starting to add hard good products. UV DTF has been a game changer in how you can decorate a hard good, and Alpha Broder purchased Primeline and is now a distributor and decorator of a lot of different promo products. So if you look at like all these things they have here, you can order it and have Alpha decorate it, or you can buy it blank from Alpha and just throw a UV sticker on it, because UV DTF is becoming a very popular way to decorate a hard good like these promo products.
Very cool.
So keep an eye out. We're going to continuously be releasing Alpha Broder hard good products, and all you have to do is find somebody to outsource the DTF transfer, and bada boom, bada bing. If you can slap a sticker on something, you can apply DTF transfers to it. It's easier to apply a UV DTF transfer than it is an actual DTF heat transfer.
Right.
I don't even have to have a piece of equipment. All I have to do is be able to put pressure on something.
So Zach, we're coming up on a pretty cool booth that we will be shooting some videos with in the very near future.
Yeah, we over here we have garmentprinter.com. Something you don't see at every show, and that's why I love the Long Beach show. Something like this is using a laser to either decorate a product or to cut around a product. I love coming to booths and acting like I own them and creating a big mess, Colin.
Yeah, that's your expertise right there.
Yeah, I'm a professional decorator.
What's this? Laser cut?
I have no idea. I don't work at this booth. I just mess it up. That's my job.
So, who's the guy for this stuff?
I have no idea.
God damn.
Look at this, Colin. I am a rookie. What's really cool though is this laser will allow you to take a hooped embroidered product. So you can see the jig here. So you would sew something, you could then attach the hoop to it, and then the laser will cut around it. It's essentially kind of like reverse applique. It allows you to sew something, and if you look at the back of this, you will see there's not a lot of stitches in there.
Right.
But then once it's cut around, it gives that applique look,
wow.
And it takes so much less time. So this is a piece of equipment you will not see at every show, but you will see it at a big show like Impressions.
Yeah, and that's not all they have. They have some other really cool pieces of equipment.
No, they don't. Something you're starting to see more of are smaller engraving machines. So they have this desktop engraver, very small. You're seeing more and more of these entry-level engraving machines coming out. And I think
because you typically would think of Epilogue as...
Yeah, and you're talking about 10, 20K, and it's a great piece of equipment, but now you can get into engraving for like $2,000. And that's pretty cool. In our industry, the barriers to entry are minimal. And they just keep getting lower. Now, brother, well known for their DTG equipment. You don't see this all the time, this oversized platen. I mean, it's gotta be every bit of 24 inches wide by
how cool is that?
30 inches long. So this would be a oversized print. Pretty cool. 78. That's a lot of money.
Hey, you get what you pay for, Zach.
Yeah, you do, and you can't do that with most garment printers. So right here, looks like they are doing a UV DTF, which again, you know, very popular way now to decorate promo products and other hard goods. And sometimes your customers have products themselves. I think of like a construction worker, and they may all have hard hats.
Right.
Well, they could bring you their hard hats, and you just slap the UV DTF sticker on there, and it's that easy. Mamaki entered the DTF world over a year ago, and this TX F375, it's actually using 32-inch wide film. Now that's not your standard. Most of the film in the room is like 13 inches or 24 or 48. They have a 32-inch. And for the money, I really like Mamaki's DTF setup. They've been manufacturing roll-to-roll printers for years. They know what they're doing. They have the techs out there. If you're looking to enter in DTF, I would definitely consider a Mamaki. And I think the price is really good, and there's so much peace of mind there. I mean, I love my printer that I purchased, but if I had to do it today for the peace of mind, I would definitely be looking at one of these Mamaki
Right,
DTF.
and this one, I think we were told it's a little over 30K.
Little over 30K for 32-inch wide print. And again, it's the Mamaki reputation, and this is a really nice dryer that they have. You can have a great printer, but if you have a bad dryer, it's not all gonna do the job for you. So I love this piece of equipment for the price. I love Mamaki's quality of their equipment, and they're just network of service technicians and reps that can help you when you need.
Yeah, and if you get in that DTF transfer game, man, you can pay that off a lot quicker than you would think.
That's what's beautiful about a DTF machine, is that you can print for yourself and print and ship it to other print shops.
Right.
Right here we have a roll-to-roll UV printer. So UV is different than eco-solvent. Eco-solvent dries with air. UV dries with a ultraviolet light. So when it's printing, you'll see a little purple light going through.
And they're printing these stickers right here.
UV can do some crazy cool stuff that eco-solvent can't. So that's a really nice, it's not what you would call a holographic, but yeah, you're not really getting that done with an eco-solvent printer.
Right. That's really a really high quality sticker right there.
Oh yeah.
And they've been very popular. I mean, they've been giving these things out like gangbusters.
I wish they had a Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm gonna get him! But again, like, you don't see a lot of this stuff at every show. You don't see a lot of the roll-to-roll equipment at most of the other impression shows, or a Graphics Pro show, or a DAC show. They're much more geared towards just apparel printing. And a lot of us in the industry, you know, we want to be a one-stop shop. And every time we got to tell our customer no, which I still love to tell the customer no, it gives our competition an opportunity to gain 100% of our customers' business. So the more you can act like a one-stop shop, whether that be outsourcing orders to another shop or bringing a process in-house, it's going to help keep your customer happy and keep them a customer, and not explore what else is out there as far as decorators go. Right here we have AS Color. AS Color has been added for Australia and New Zealand licensees. AS Color has made their way over to the States. Right here we have the Staple Tee, and then the men's or the female version is the Maple Tee. The Staple Tee and the Maple Tee are their bread and butter. They're very popular. I've worked with Australian shops for many years now. Every single one of them for years has been like, the Staple Tee is the best t-shirt. So I'm real excited about getting AS Color America on DecoNetwork. So again, like we do with all of our suppliers, click of a button, you have the product line, it works with the design tool, so your customer can instantly take with that Staple Tee, drop artwork on there, get a quote, place an order, that easy.
All right, so Zach, you guys are OGs of these walkthroughs. You would remember that we walked through Bella Canvas a couple years ago, Zach. Do you remember that?
Unfortunately, I do remember that. It was during COVID.
Yep.
We were all masked up, and yeah, not my favorite walkthrough moment, but yeah, you could play a clip and
yeah, why,
let our audience.
If you don't remember, here's the clip.
Yeah.
So yeah, Zach, I mean, you embarrassed yourself 2 years ago. What do you say we do it again?
They have a full-time DJ in here. I mean, oh God, I got her to laugh at me, and she's 3 times my age. It's not fun.
But I mean, being on a serious note, I mean, Bella Canvas is a great manufacturer.
Oh yeah, they're 3001 CVC, the BC 3719, the BC 3900. These are go-to premium t-shirts, crew sweatshirts, hooded sweatshirts, whether it be cotton or a tri-blend or a 50-50 blend. Bella Canvas makes nice quality, very soft shirts. It's not your cheap price point, it's more of your medium, high quality, premium product.
Yeah, I mean, sorry guys if it's a little loud in there. I mean, that place is virtually a nightclub.
It's a party. Right here we have Ricoma. Ricoma does a lot more than just embroidery nowadays. They've been doing embroidery for over 25 years. Now you see they're doing DTG, DTF, they're selling heat presses. You name it, they kind of sell it now in our industry. So Ricoma offers great service, and we had a lot of fun going to the Deco Summit that they put on. One of my favorite companies in the entire industry, and really in this room, Sanmar. Sanmar is by far the most popular apparel supplier here in the States. They're very popular also in Canada. Your big three are Sanmar, S&S, and Alpha Broder. I suggest every shop in the room, they should have accounts with all three. You should always be using all three, but there's a lot of things I love about Sanmar. Their customer service is great, but what I really like about them is they manufacture a lot of their own products. You see, Port Authority, that is their brand. Port & Company, Sport Tech, Cornerstone, District, these are all their brands, meaning they don't have a middleman getting in between. They have better control on inventory, they have better pricing. What I also like is you can purchase what are called grommeted samples. So if you see here, it's grommeted. It comes with all the information. It lets me know the different sizes it's available in, the different cuts. So this is just the K865, but if they had a female version and a short sleeve and so forth, it would just list all the different cuts that it's available in. But here's what I also really like. It actually is giving you swatches of the material. So if you purchased a grommeted sample, your customer could come into your showroom or your shop, and they're gonna ask, hey, I'm looking for a quarter zip. And you have like 10 different versions of this. You hand it to them, they feel the different fabric, they look at it, and they're like, oh, I like that. Sanmar, though, is always putting their customers in a position to be successful. When you purchase a grommeted sample, if it's one of their brands, it costs half of the normal price. As in, Sanmar is doing more to the product and charging you 50% of the normal price so that you have the sales tool to be successful. I'm a big Sanmar guy. I love everything they're selling, and they just keep expanding their offering. There's a lot of great products coming out here in 2024, and we're about to release them on DecoNetwork because Sanmar's flipping the switch and actually making them all available themselves. So check out Sanmar's new product line, and always look at their grommeted sample offering. For the price, it's one of the best market materials you can purchase.
No doubt. Well, Zach, what do you say we call it on part one? We're at the 20-minute mark. I feel like this is a good stopping part. We've kind of done half the trade show so far. We'll get the other half on part two and show you guys what else is in this awesome trade show.
Sounds good, Colin.
Hey guys, Colin from DecoNetwork, back with Zach Dewhurst. We are in part two of our Long Beach 2024 Impressions Expo walkthrough. You guys love these videos, so we're just keep doing them. We already did part one, so if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. And we're gonna start part two here at Roland.
So for those who don't know who Roland is a leader when it comes to roll-to-roll printing. That's typically an eco-solvent or a UV printer, and they've also do some new stuff. I mean, what I really like that I'm seeing from Roland are these new desktop machines. So when you get a UV printer, when they first started coming out, they were $30K, and it wasn't that much bigger than this. So this is the Versa Studio BD8, and it is a desktop UV printer. So when you go with something smaller, cheaper, two things happen. Your area to print on goes down, and the speed that it prints goes down. So if you want to pay more, you're going to be able to print bigger, and you're going to be able to print faster. This machine is right under 10K, and it will allow you to print onto a wide range of products using UV ink. And you can see there, Colin, it's using UV light. That purple light goes over it and instantly cures the print.
Yeah, don't stare at it too long there, Zach.
I don't have any brain cells. So you can see like a bag tag like that. You can see they have this jig for printing golf balls. So if you ever wonder, how do they print on a golf ball? Well, they put it on one of these machines and it prints directly over it. So you can print a wide range of hard good products with UV ink, and having a desktop version which has a lower price point and the footprint.
Yeah.
I mean, almost anybody can fit this in their garage or their basement if that's where you're doing all your production.
And the footprint's huge. That's a huge factor.
Oh, it is, and again, under 10K, that's pretty good. So what Roland has started doing is they've started to bring a lot of their equipment into a desktop version. So you have UV, you have DTF. So if you see their direct-to-film, not that big. It's again, it's just sitting on a tabletop. And then they have their new eco-solvent printer. It's an inkjet printer cutter. So just like their big roll-to-roll machines, it's just a smaller version, meaning it has a smaller imprint area and it's a slower printing process. But this machine starts at $6,500. I mean, that is really cheap for something that can print and cut stickers and clings and banner material. They also have a desktop engraving machine. So check out Roland. Most of us in the industry that print apparel start with a heat press and a vinyl cutter. And the most popular vinyl cutter out there is the GS24. They've renamed it like 3 times, but it's a 24-inch wide cutter, typically starts around 2K, and now Roland is really entering into this other wide range of desktop machines, low learning curve, and Roland Roland you can trust. Roland, Mamaki, I have complete confidence in buying any piece of equipment from these two brands because they've been doing it for decades, and they just are really great engineering. The old saying goes, you get what you pay for. You can have confidence in Mamaki and Roland because they're just well-engineered equipment.
And here's Zach, here's something that we have a video on. If you want an in-depth video on this machine we're looking at here, go ahead and check it. We'll probably pin it at the top of this video so you can easily find it. But what is this, Zach?
This is the color reel. So if you look at one of these traditional embroidery machines, you have all the different spools. Each color in the design has its own spool,
right?
And each color is sewn. Versus the color reel is actually white thread up top, and right before it's sewn, it is dyed, and it allows you to create a full color design, or you could create a normal embroidery design but use one spool of thread and simulate an unlimited amount of colors.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It's really cool
That's
technology.
a game changer.
It's not a whole lot has changed over the years with embroidery. You know, the printing processes went from just screen to, hey, we're going to do some DTG. Now we're doing DTF and all over sublimation and so forth. Embroidery hasn't changed much. This attachment you can put above virtually any embroidery machine is the biggest change in embroidery in decades, I would say.
Yeah,
So,
if you guys, like I said, if you want a more in-depth look at this, please check out our video because we have interviewed someone who runs and operates and sells this machine, and they'll tell you a lot more than we can about it.
yeah, I wish I had one, but I don't have 30K to drop on it right now. But, you know, somebody on the floor mentioned to me, if a thread breaks, you only have one thread that can break. You know, it's not like you have 10 colors on there, one of them breaks, or a needle breaks. It's just, it simplifies a lot of things. And I've had customers come to me and they want like a full color design. It's like, I don't want to hoop 15 unique colors just to create this when we can do one color at a time. This is Dave with Corel Trainer. We're going to do a webinar with Dave and talk about how Corel Trainer will educate you to be able to use Corel Draw's software very quickly, and that'll allow you to do a lot of vectorization and other changes. I mean, almost every printing process would prefer a vector when possible. Not everything can be a vector, and Corel Draw makes actually converting a bitmap file into a vector very easily, and Corel Trainer will help you understand how to do that and greatly reduce that learning curve instead of you trying to learn software. Software can take time to learn, especially if it's powerful, and Corel Draw is powerful. So right here we have Mamaki. Again, Mamaki makes incredible equipment. Everything from a UV flatbed printer, UV roll-to-roll, eco-solvent roll-to-roll. Mamaki does it really well. And what you see in the show, Colin, is you see a lot of dealers of equipment, and then you actually see the manufacturer themselves to give that extra support and that extra peace of mind that, hey, it's not just coming from this sales rep, from this dealer. We definitely have engineered it. We educate our dealers. We educate our techs so that anybody who purchases it should have complete confidence and the peace of mind that they made a good purchase.
And look who this is, Zach.
M&R. I mean, whoa, that's a new blue. It's funny, I've never met somebody who purchased M&R equipment and couldn't be a sales rep for them because they absolutely love it.
Check that out. It's already sold, Zach.
Oh gosh. It's a wallflower merch. So what we have going on here, what are we doing? We are doing inline DTG. So right there, we are pre-treating. And then it looks like we have a couple flash dryers here. So these are helping helping dry the pre-treat. Then it gets to the heat press where it is curing the pre-treat, and then comes over to the other side where it's going to print the white underbase, and then it's going to print the CMYK.
And then you get something like these over here.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, that's the Polaris. It's high-speed DTG equipment. We were in same-day tea shop. They had this and digital squeegee and your traditional auto and manual screen printing equipment from M&R. M&R is the benchmark for screen printing equipment, but M&R now does a lot more than just screen printing. Again, we just saw that's their.
There you go, right there.
They have 2 different DTG machines. So they have the Polaris, and then they have the Maverick, and the Maverick is a 2-head. And what I really like about the Maverick is it has CMYK ink plus light cyan and light magenta, and I've seen their DTG equipment put out prints and colors that I've not seen any other DTG machine do because of that extra light cyan, light magenta. It's essentially taking a 4-color simulated process print and turning it into a 6-color process print.
Right, and Zach,
much wider.
We've pretty much touched on M&R in every single one of these videos, but something exciting down the road is we will be visiting M&R's headquarters.
Their HQ in April. So we'll be at the DAC show in Tinley Park, and M&R is located just outside of Chicago, so we're going to take a tour of their HQ. We're going to look at their automatic and manual screen printing equipment. We're going to look at their digital squeegee, which is a hybrid of essentially screen printing and DTG. We'll look at their Maverick DTG and their Polaris, and then they have the Quattro DTF machine, which is, again, becoming another benchmark machine for that printing process. I've never again heard any single person ever complain about M&R. M&R just puts out a phenomenal product. They're not the cheapest, but again, I keep mentioning peace of mind. If you bought M&R equipment, you are not going to regret because of issues with it. You've got to, again, you're going to spend more money. You've got to do it. You got to keep it busy and going. But if I had to buy screen printing equipment today, M&R would be at the very top of my list for it. Another place we're going to tour, Colin's going to come up to Columbus, Dynamite Apparel. Dynamite is a leader when it comes to dyeing fabric, whether it be mineral dye, tie-dye. They do it all, and they do it in my home city. So they're going to let us tour their facility and show us how they do it. It's a really cool process. I've personally done some tie-dyeing before. I would not do it again. It was kind of fun. I was 22 at the time, and I would create my own tie-dye designs, but it's a process. It's a little bit of a mess. Dynamite, you can buy directly from them, and you can buy from dealers like S&S Activewear.
It's getting better.
So we have our, over here we have auto bagging and tagging machines, some crazy different types of embroidery equipment. I mean, look at that, Colin. I mean, how many heads is that?
That's just ridiculous. Yeah, here you go, right here. So hold that up for the people.
Jeez. And 1100 RPM, that's pretty much a standard speed. So RPM, revolutions per minute, it's essentially the exact same thing as stitches per minute. We have the Epson booth here. Epson's really well known for their DTG printing equipment, among a few other processes that they have. Epson makes great products. Most of your DTF print heads is actually an Epson print head. So right here we have Image Technology. Image Technology does a lot of different things, but they do a lot of ink mixing. So if you see here, you actually have all these 5-gallon buckets of
check
pigments.
this out.
And how it works work is you would put in your Pantone number that you want to create, and then it's going to give us the formula, and you see right there is a scale. You put your bucket of ink on there, and it'll drop the pigment in with a base, and then you will mix it together, and you've created a custom color. So if you ever want to do a Pantone match, mixing inks, whether it's a pigment mixing system or a finished ink system, it works a little bit different, but you can create virtually any color that you need a color match when your customer says, I need this Pantone color.
Right.
Also referred to as a PMS. PMS stands for Pantone Mixing System. So sometimes a customer will say, I need this PMS color, and by having an ink mixing system, you can create that color and keep your customer happy.
So someone who doesn't have something like that, because not a lot of people will have that, what would be the step to try to match someone's color that they want?
When you say they don't have that automated,
right? You know, they don't have the automated.
In my shop, I have 17 pigments, and I have a scale. And all I have to do is put in where I bought my ink, the manufacturer. I tell it I want to do this Pantone number. It gives me the formula, and I just have to scoop out the pigments manually, put it in, and then mix it. Having a good scale is really the only important piece of equipment you need. So we have ZSK over here. ZSK is known for high quality, made in Germany embroidery machines. Right there, you're looking at chenille. So chenille has that raised look effect. It's a different way to embroider, but you can see you can also do traditional embroidery on the same machine.
And we're in LA, basically, Long Beach, but right down the road from LA. So of course we have to have the great Kobe Bryant.
And they're doing 23, not number 8.
I know, it doesn't make sense. But that's definitely Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, it is. But, you could have gone with LeBron James, but he never wore 23 here in LA. So yeah, I mean, you can see that this show is crazy. Right here we have Pocket Me. So Pocket Me will do something really unique. They will allow you to choose a pocket color that you want for a shirt. So you hit them up and I'm like, I want a white polo shirt with a red pocket, but I want it to look like, in this case, the dog is coming out of the pocket. So what Pocket Me will do is they will actually decorate for you, in which they decorate part of the shirt. I mean, it all comes down to what you're ordering. Well, they decorate part of it, put the pocket over, and then potentially decorate the pocket as well. So they do everything from screen printing, and when I say screen printing, it's your traditional 2D plastisol. Check out this basketball.
I mean,
3D
these are all
puck.
really cool. Look at that. That is awesome.
Pocket Me is a DecoNetwork licensee. They use our software, and they allow their customers to design and order custom pockets through it, and really cool stuff. I highly suggest you check them out. Really great pricing. Right, Spiro?
Yes.
So what, Spiro? Screen, sublimation, embroidery.
Yes.
Pretty much every decoration process for apparel you guys are doing to the pocket itself. I mean, I see here, this, you can see it's a full color print, although it's only 3 spot. And then you've got your 3D puff popcorn coming out of it.
Very cool.
Really cool. So, Colin, I mean, we can't make an infinite amount of videos. This is our second video, and we are in only room 1 of 3.
Yeah.
So that just puts in perspective how big this show is. There is no other show like it. I highly suggest you attend one. If you attend the Long Beach show even every other year, it will be very beneficial, because you just do not see this stuff at other shows. You'll see a lot of it, but I mean, we went to a couple other impression shows, and out of the big 3 suppliers, only Sanmar was at one of them. So definitely try to make it out to the impression show, and who doesn't want to come to California in January and escape some cold weather if you're on the Midwest like myself, or even in Colin in Atlanta was coming away from degree or teen degree weather. So lots of fun, lots of education, lots of networking. You got to come to the Long Beach Impression Show.
No doubt. Well, as always, guys, we really appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully you've watched part 1 and this is part 2. So that's a wrap on Long Beach. We'll have some other content coming out over the coming weeks, so keep an eye out for that. We're going to interview specific companies out here behind us and get in-depth looks at what they have to offer. So,
and we're going to be we're doing a lot of networking. We want to keep these webinars coming. We're trying to bring the trade show to you through webinars in which you can ask questions and really take your business to the next level and make informed decisions on where you take your business.
No doubt. So, all right, guys, we will see you on the next one.
Colin.
What's up, Zach?
We're in the GPX Expo here in Irving, Texas for the Graphics Pro Expo 2024.
Yeah, this is something new. Typically, you only see us at Impressions and Printing United, but we are in a different setting.
Yeah, well, when I started my business 15 years ago, my first 2 shows were actually NBM show, which was the old name for Graphics Pro. And I went to the Indianapolis show and the Charlotte show. They're different than an Impression show. Impressions is very much so geared towards apparel, decorating, and supply, whereas GPX is more of apparel and signage. I mean, you're going to see as we do this walkthrough, a lot of different types of decoration processes. It's not as big as most of your Impression show, but it's a very intimate show with a lot that you can absolutely learn. A little bit more geared towards your startups who are looking to just get in the industry. I mean, right to us over here is where all the classes are going on, and even those are geared towards, again, a lot of your startups, your mom and pops that are just getting started in the industry. But yeah, it's a fun show. I mean, Irving, Texas, the barbecue that you get out here.
Irving's right in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's closer to Dallas and Fort Worth, but awesome area. Anytime we come here, we always look forward to it. So
the food, man, you definitely have a lot of fun. So let's go check out the Expo. Every show has its advantage, and what I like about this show is you have a little bit more variety of different decoration processes, and if you're just getting started, you're trying to figure that out. So I like how it's got a little bit of everything. So like right off the bat, you will see Epilogue at an Impression show, but they won't have this big of a booth. They're again, the non-apparel focus is often at this GPX show more than at an Impression show. This has a wide variety. And Epilogue, I mean, I remember going to my first show and I got one of these Aztec calendars, and I still have it in my shop because I still think it's one of the coolest things. So Epilogue is one of your main sponsors at this show. GSG is also one of our main sponsors. GSG is here actually in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Very popular supplier in our industry, whether you're doing screen printing, DTG, DTF, EcoSolvent. GSG is kind of your one-stop shop for all things decorating. Really good supplier to work with. I've never heard any negative things about GSG. And yeah, I mean, again, you see a little bit of everything here. We have engraving, screen printing, so we've got your M&R manual. They have a Cobra auto here. Looks like it's got 8 heads. We saw one of these at a shop tour that we just went to. Yeah. You get 500-600 shirts out an hour. You can't go wrong with M&R equipment. I mean, it's as good as it gets. They also
Yeah, they're local, so that's a benefit if you're interested in any GSG stuff. They're local to Texas, so you're always going to see them.
Absolutely. They sell ZSK embroidery equipment. They sell Roland Eco Solvent and UV printers. So again, all their Roland wide format are here, whether it's Eco or UV. And then they also have Hotronix heat presses, which you cannot go wrong with. We just did a webinar with Hotronix installs, and their wide range of different types of equipment, and even now their patches and so forth are really cool. Out of your apparel suppliers, you have your big three, Sanmar, S&S, Alpha Broder. Out of the three, only Sanmar is here. And their booth is a lot smaller than most of the other shows, but it still gets the message across. The big three, I highly suggest everybody have an account with all three. There's no reason not to. Sanmar is just awesome to work with. I can't say enough positive things about them. But S&S and Alpha, again, all great to have accounts with. You want to have that wide range of product mix. We got Corel Trainer here. We're going to be doing a webinar with them on all things graphic art, difference between a vector and a bitmap, why I want to work in RGB versus CMYK. Real excited to do that. Right here we have sandblasting, and we just did a video with it. It is really cool technology and how you decorate using sandblasting equipment. We were told that machine right there, $7,600. Something you do not see at like an impression show. Again, much more so geared towards apparel decorating and less towards this non-apparel world.
Right.
Over here, DTF. I mean, DTF is by far the big thing. It has been for the past several years. CobraFlex is an innovator. They have been making these printers practically from day one, and they're constantly innovating. So CobraFlex is a very popular brand. And then we have TL Top Line Promotions. Something I thought was really cool here, and again, they're innovating too and updating the equipment. I really think this, I guess it's like a second ink agitator. So you always have pumps back here circulating your white ink, but this is also just continuously keeping it nice and mixed up. It's not shaking it violently, which would introduce air bubbles and create other problems, but you're just seeing innovation. DTF, it's everyone's new favorite process. It's again, you have to be using it. I recently ran some numbers. 90% of DecoNetwork users offer DTF, whether they do it themselves or outsource it. Embroidery is the second most popular process out of our DecoNetwork users. So DTF, if you're not doing it in-house, find somebody who will print for you at a great price, and all you got to do is heat press and put out great products. Over here we have an Eco Solvent printer. Again, you'll see these at impressions, just not so many. At some of these GPX shows, you'll see a lot of car wrapping being done. I mean, back when I went to a show 10, 15 years ago, you'd find 15 cars in this room, Lamborghinis and so forth. So Eco Solvent roll-to-roll printing. So you start with one roll of media, comes off, gets rolled up, and then we have flatbed UV printing here. So you can see it's a flat bed, and it's printing directly onto, this looks like coroplast. And you can see that blue purple light is instantly curing the print. So UV can be done as a flat bed product like this, or it can be done as a roll-to-roll product. Your ratio of seeing something like flatbed printers or roll-to-roll printers is going to be much higher here again than an impression show. CobraFlex right here has their UV DTF. Looks like they're going on to a clear back carrier instead of white. Looks beautiful. I mean, UV DTF will not be as popular as your heat DTF, but if you're trying to offer low run promotional products, or if your customer simply wants to put their logo on a hard good product, they absolutely can. Here at Happy Japan, Renee, We love your products. We've made some nice videos with Happy Japan. Highly suggest you look at their wide range and look at specifically Tex-Mac if you're looking for a Happy Japan product. They are a dealer for all 50 states. Great guys. They're going to help you. You can't go wrong with Japanese, German, or American-made equipment. Most of us don't like some of the knockoffs and lower quality equipment that is made overseas, but again, Japan, German, American, always awesome to work with. Over here we've got Sage and PPAI, so if you're looking to join a promotional product network, you've got these two, or essentially are one, and then we have ASI, which is Sage PPAI's main competitor. So you got a little bit of all of it. Brother is here, they've got the GTX 600. What makes this machine really cool is they also sell it with an oversized platen, so you can print a really large print.
Yeah, check out our video on that.
Oh yeah, it's really cool. And then what's also really cool is they're not just doing CMYK over here. They've got orange and green, which give you a much wider color gamut. So Brother really has kind of like your 3 lines of printers in which you're doing essentially, you have the GTX Pro, which is your kind of your everyday DTG printer. Then they have the GTX Pro 424, which is a bulk system. And then they have the GTX 600, which again is what we're looking at. And then ones with the larger size. And then they have the inline presses. And you'll only see them at the biggest show. You'll see that at the Impressions Long Beach show, and you'll typically see that at the Printing United Expo. So Brother is a leader in almost everything, but you can see this is DTG on a whole nother level, in which you've got a couple actual printers here. You're pre-treating, you're curing, you're never taking the shirt off of the equipment. When I first got into DTG printing, I brought Brother's, I want to say their second model of DTG printers in 2011, the GTX 782. Brother has been an innovator when it comes to DTG printing, and now they actually have DTF as well. Right here we have Express Screen. Express Screen essentially does screen printing differently. There is no screen room, and thus there's no screen room chemicals, emulsion. They have re-envisioned it in which they are essentially using their own version of computer to screen to print directly onto their screen itself, and then you can immediately be on press. I mean, you can go from artwork to on press in literally 5 minutes just because there is no having to coat. And then when you're done, you just cut it out and throw it away, and then you essentially re-stretch your next
Yeah, and
job.
we have a more in-depth video on them as well.
We do have a more in-depth, and we're doing a webinar with them. Over here we have U.S. Award and Supply. So again, you don't see too much trophies being marketed at shows, and the Graphics Pro Expo, you're going to get a little bit more of a variety. It's a smaller show, but there's more of a variety of equipment here. Right here we have Direct Color Systems. So they have a range of different types of UV printers. So you kind of have your small flatbed, what we often call a desktop UV printer. So you can go on to your smaller products. It also has a rotary attachment so that it can rotate a bottle or anything that's in a cylinder to then create it. You also have, again, another flatbed over here, which is just a bigger version of essentially the same technology. You just have a print head going back and forth to print the design and instantly cure it using UV light. The nice thing about UV, it's very durable. You can scratch at it, do a lot of things, and it's not really going to go anywhere. We have an acrylic polishing machine here. If I'm being honest, I have no idea how that really works, but you can do it. You can learn about it when you attend this show. You have Ninja transfers overnight. They became very popular for all things DTF. And
they're always very busy.
They are always very busy. Their marketing marketing. I mean, you can learn a lot from what they do on social media. You may have to have a really big budget to do it, but oh my. Over here we have Mamaki. Mamaki is a leader when it comes to roll-to-roll, UV printing, DTF printing, you name it, they almost do it. So you can see this is a DTF printer coming into the dryer, curing the ink. They've been innovating that, and then they have a UV here and here, a couple different types of UV types of printers. So you have your roll-to-roll, and then you have your flatbed over here to actually print on. And we're doing webinars with Mamaki on their DTF roll-to-roll printers, whether you want to go eco-solvent or UV, and then also flatbed UV printing. Mamaki has a wide range of different services, essentially equipment that allow you to do a lot of different products. And then we're here at our DecoNetwork booth. It's been a great show so far, Colin. Again, it's not the biggest show, but it's very intimate. It's a lot so geared towards your startups who really want to get into the industry. The barriers of entry have never been lower. I mean, if you just buy a quality heat press and you can outsource DTF transfers, you can compete easier than you ever had. It's just, again, the barriers of entry were always low. They got lower in the past 5 years with DTF coming along, and just a great time to join the industry. Apparel is never going to stop being worn. I was told a couple weeks ago 1.2 billion shirts are printed a year for the U.S. market. I mean, think about how many shirts that is. It's a lot of business to go around. There's no reason to be afraid of competition. It comes down to quality, service, price is the third most important thing. If you've got, if you can keep your high quality high, treat your customers great, you can compete in this industry. And attending a show like the Graphics Expo is a great place to start if you're just getting into the industry.
Right. So by the time you're watching this, we will be gearing up to fly to Atlantic City Impressions.
Atlantic City Impressions is the East Coast show.
Yep. So if you're attending that show, come say hey to us. We'll have a booth there, as we always do. And as always, thank you for watching this video and getting a feel of a different type of trade show that we haven't been to in a while, but we're here now and we're happy to be here. So hopefully you learned a little bit about this show and whether or not you might be interested in attending in the future. So.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. What's up, guys? Colin from DecoNetwork, back with Zach Dewhurst, and this time we are in Atlantic City for the 2024 Impression Show. How you doing, Zach? It's only been about 10 days.
Yep, a little bit different than the GPX show in Irving, Texas. Yep. You know, Impressions is kind of the leader in these shows for apparel decoration, whereas GPX has a little bit more signage and so forth.
Right.
Atlantic City used to always be the second biggest show of the year, and based on what we felt the last couple days, it seems like it is back to being the second biggest show of the year.
Yeah, it's been a very good show. We're on day 3 of 3, and the first 2 days were great. The weather's not so great today, so it's been a little slow, but overall, I've been impressed with what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, again, last year was a good show, but I feel like it's been even a greater show this year.
Yep.
A lot of attendees, a lot of exhibitors showing off some really cool things that we're excited to go show you.
Yeah, so let's go walk in and see what they have to offer this year.
Yep, so we're in, again, Atlantic City. This is essentially our East Coast show. You know, you first start with Long Beach every year, then you have Atlantic City, and then Fort Worth is the third Impression show. So they try to spread them throughout the country. Kicking it off, we have Gildan and Comfort Colors, who they acquired a few years ago. Gildan is still one of the go-to brands for the value and medium quality shirts.
Absolutely.
You also have premium apparel products like LA Apparel, Los Angeles Apparel. we're gonna see here in just a second, Cotton Heritage. Those who have not looked at Cotton Heritage, oh my, their show shirts here that are being sold or being printed and given out for free are Cotton Heritage, and they are nice.
Yeah.
We have
awesome.
JDS Supply here. JDS is very popular for sublimation and engraving products. They also sell a lot of trophies. We need our users' help. I can only try so many times with JDS. If you want this catalog on DecoNetwork, we rely on our users to help convince the suppliers that, hey, we want to put you on DecoNetwork. We don't charge the supplier anything, but they like to listen to their customers more than one of us who tries to convince them, hey, you should be on our software.
Right.
Cotton Heritage, they only offer premium shirts, and again, I cannot tell you how much I was impressed with the first shirt I felt. You go direct to purchase from them, but check out Cotton Heritage. I mean, it's high-end quality shirts at a very reasonable price. Also in here, you know, you have computer-to-screen equipment. You also have automatic screen cleaning equipment. Like
yeah, here's our guys
at Hydro Engineering.
Great group of guys right here. They are really the leaders. They created this first. They do a lot of other things in other industries, but as far as the screen printing world, they're about as high quality as you can get, and great products.
Nowadays, it's all about automation. There are a lot of, it's harder than ever to find that reliable employee who's gonna stick around, and the worst job in the shop is cleaning screens. You can automate it with something like Hydro Engineering set up with their equipment. Again, you have a lot of the higher end suppliers like LAT Apparel. We saw this machine at Long Beach that was really cool. You can engrave essentially directly onto a product, so you can decorate with it, and you can also essentially do reverse applique with this type of technology.
Yeah, if you haven't already seen that video, guys, check it out. It's incredible.
It's really, really cool.
It might not be practical for your business, but it's cool to watch.
It's cool. I want one of them at some point. But again, you see lots of different things. Like here we have a speed tagging machine. So if you needed to tag thousands of garments in a day, that is extremely efficient at doing it. So again, at the show, you have a lot of apparel vendors, a lot of equipment vendors, and then things in between, like Corel Trainer here, who will teach you how to use Corel Draw efficiently, and we're actually making a webinar with them, and we shot a video yesterday. You can outsource woven patches to a company. There's a lot of heat transfer companies here at the show. So everybody from Ninja Transfers, Howard, FM, Transfer Express, tons of transfers, heat applying graphics has kind of come back to being really one of the most popular ways to decorate because of the evolution of DTF. Again, Ninja is a leader. You didn't hear about Ninja Transfers until really just recently, and oh my, are they a big player in the game. We have automatic bagging machines, so you can tag a machine, you know, get a piece of equipment at one booth, come over here, buy a bagging machine from
those
another.
always seem to be hot topics. You either love it or hate it. Obviously, you have to have the business to be able to, you know, want something that big. I mean, it's not cheap. Obviously, it takes up a lot of real estate. But hey, if you're printing thousands of T-shirts a day, you're not going to want to fold thousands of T-shirts a day. It's just not practical.
You know what though? DecoNetwork has everybody in the industry. Everything from those startup mom and pops to those, you know, businesses doing over $10 million a year.
Right.
You can be using DecoNetwork software to run your business efficiently, and yeah, you're going to want to potentially also look at joining Shirt Lab Tribe that DecoNetwork recently joined, is now a sponsor. Shirt Lab will actually, it's a private club for decoration shops and industry experts. It's a great way to learn about the newest technology. DecoNetwork has been involved for around a month. The amount that I have learned in that first month has been incredible. Right here we have Happy Japan. Happy Japan is a leader when it comes to manufacturing embroidery equipment. As the name says, It is manufactured in Japan.
And they're happy.
Oh, yeah, you're happy. But I mean, if you look at, right now they're sewing the Richardson 112 6-panel hat here, and it is absolutely flying. I mean, at 850 stitches a minute, it is going on a very structured hat that is a lot more difficult than sewing a 5-panel hat.
Absolutely.
We had some fun here with SFX Laser, where they have 2 different types of engraving machines. So they have a CO2 engraving machine and a UV engraving machine. That allows you to go on to a wide range of products, including glassware, which can be a lot harder to engrave because it could crack or break, and when it has a unique shape. So again, we made a really cool video with these guys earlier today. I highly suggest checking it out because, you know, when you think engraving, you often think of like an epilogue, little box engraver. The CO2 and the UV are a different way to engrave and definitely have the pros. It's just
and
like
it also
printing.
could be a replacement for sandblasting, we learned.
Yep.
Where
Well,
it mimics sandblasting. They were telling us that you feel that, you would think it's sandblasting and it's not.
Yep, again, every decoration process has a time and place. You can use a lot of processes multiple ways and satisfy, but if you use the right tool in the toolbox, you're gonna get a better result.
FM is right there behind you.
FM is a
Another
leader in
quality,
heat transfers.
company.
Again, you also have some of your smaller apparel vendors at the show, and then you have vendors here like FlexFit who are selling through distributors like Sanmar, S&S, Alpha Broder,
Right.
and they're just here to educate you about the products. No idea what that's for. Barrett is here. Barrett also makes Japanese-made embroidery equipment. They are a leader. I have never heard anything negative about Happy Japan, Barrett, or Tajima. You can't really go wrong with any of those Japanese engineered pieces of equipment. ACC is here. Last year I approached them and about joining DecoNetwork. We now have their catalog and it's always growing.
Very nice.
We also have Auto. We have over 500 Auto hat products on DecoNetwork.
We have another hat manufacturer that's in our catalogs, Outdoor Cap.
Outdoor Cap. We also have PPAI, where you can learn about the promotional product industry. We're going to do a webinar with them, and we'll be at the PPAI Expo in Vegas to kick off next year. We have First Citizens Bank. Highly suggest looking at them anytime that you need to be financing equipment, whether it's new or used, whether it's a heat press or a $250,000 setup. They can take care of you. We have M&R. Everybody loves M&R. Whenever you see their blue, all you do is think quality. Something that I've recognized, and I'm not saying this is the way you should buy equipment, but if it is blue, it's typically a high quality product. Speaking of high quality, we have Paragon here. Paragon sells really high-end, wide range of shirts, more of your performance wear, fabric. It's definitely kind of an athleisure wear, kind of your boating and
Yeah,
other
it looks
stuff.
like a good fishing shirt. You want to
Hey,
go fishing on a
excellent.
Saturday?
Yeah.
That's a perfect shirt for that.
Do you fish, Colin?
Not really.
I'm not a good. My dad likes to fish. I don't
I like it. I just don't.
I like baiting it. I don't like taking the fish
Yeah.
off. I'm not very
a lot of work.
masculine when it comes to fishing. Just like making a video. Just not what I do. Stalls. You can't go wrong with anything from Stalls. Goes back to that blue comment.
Then let's check out.
Yeah, that
real
Pro
quick.
Place IQ. So Stalls really has a few different companies. So you have Stalls, it used to be Stalls ID, but just Stalls.com. They also have Transfer Express, is where you can get the Plastisol DTF transfers.
Yep.
And then they have the Hotronics is their brand for heat presses. And Hotronics makes, without a doubt, the best heat presses. They're manufactured in Pennsylvania. I've been to their facility. Everything is American made, high quality. The Pro Place IQ, which we made a video with Josh Ellsworth earlier today, allows you to project a design onto the platen so you can align a clear transfer easily onto the shirt. So DTF always has a clear transfer, vinyl always has a clear transfer, and now you can buy Stalls transfers clear if you would like. Costs a little bit more, but it allows you to use that ProPlace IQ technology, which again, you gotta check that video out that we made. And lastly, talking about blue, you can't go wrong with DecoNetwork. So DecoNetwork is the leader when it comes to all-in-one software. We have a website in which we're dedicated, directly integrated with all your major suppliers. So again, like we walked through the room, Sanmar, S&S, Alpha Broder, Auto, Outdoor Cap, ACC, I mean the list goes on, and we're always growing our product offering and catalogs. We just always often ask our users to reach out to their suppliers to connect with us, because that's who the supplier wants to hear in order to join. So you can have those products with an online design tool. You can act like you're a customink.com, and then you can also provide a network of websites to your clients, whether it's for fundraising, a team store, ordering portal. Those sites are extremely powerful. And lastly, everything flows into one order management system where you can create quotes and orders from scratch. You can schedule jobs, raise purchase orders, organize artwork approvals. We are the all-in-one software solution. All of our competitors only do one of the three. All the technology has been built for decoration shops, and we're constantly innovating. We're releasing a brand new update, started rolling out this week. You're gonna love it, and you're gonna love what is actually right around the corner as well. We're constantly innovating. We're growing our team. In the past 2 months, we've added 2 catalog team members. We've added 3 more client services members. We added a couple graphic designers as we're building a lot of artwork templates, and we've added 3 more developers so the technology can be innovated and built even faster. So you're gonna love what is about to be released, what's around the corner, and what's gonna keep being innovated, because we at DecoNetwork, pride ourselves on making the best possible software and listening to our users. I have been a DecoNetwork user since 2010, so for the past 14 years, I've ran my shop through the software. I've watched it evolve. We only provide a great value, and we have never increased the price on a user's account. What you pay today, you can pretty much confidently know that's what you're going to be charged years from now, and we're not like our competitors who will give you a good price and then later on greatly increase it, and you're kind of stuck with them until you leave. So really, we do everything right here at DecoNetwork. Can't say enough about the company. That's why, we do this. And you're gonna, if you haven't checked out DecoNetwork, visit DecoNetwork.com, do a demo, and you will see for yourself why DecoNetwork is the shop management full all-in-one software solution if you have a printing or embroidery business.
Great spiel as always, Zach, and really enjoyed this show.
Yes.
I guess the next time you will see us will actually be in Austin, Texas for the Shirt Lab event.
Yeah.
Which is hopefully going to be really fun.
I think it is. Definitely check out Shirt Lab Tribe. We're going to be doing a little marketing there, but DecoNetwork is one of their biggest sponsors now. And we did it not for ourselves as much as for our users. So our users can actually sign up for Shirt Lab Tribe for only $47 a month. It's typically $99 a month, and you're going to really like it. And also in April 19th and 20th, we will actually be at the DAX show in Tinley Park, Chicago, or essentially right outside Chicago, Illinois.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it as always, Zach, and we appreciate you guys for tuning in. And we're going to keep doing these as long as you keep requesting them. So thanks for coming along in Atlantic City, and we'll see you at the next one.
See you, Colin. Hey guys, we're here at the Graphics Pro Expo in Long Beach, California. And with me today is the founder and owner of GarmentPrinter.com, Fern Padilla.
Thanks.
How's it going, Fern?
I'm doing great, doing great. It's a Saturday morning session, last day for the show. We've had some good success thus far. The density has been decent to really good. And fortunately, we have a nice showcased area where people can stop and see all the pedigree that we bring to the table. But either way, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of build up your ego a little bit, but in all seriousness,
I'll let you.
I like your booth more than any other one here because, you know, you're kind of doing it all. I mean, you're a one-stop shop at GarmentPrinter.com, and everything from DTG, DTF, HTV, eco-solvent,
embroidery,
UV.
laser, experience, technician, supplies, 35 years. I could help you finish your sentences at this point, at this rate. But either way, no, thank you for that.
So let's go check out the show.
Sure.
So Graphics Pro, it's a little bit different than an Impressions show, which is, Impressions is really focused on apparel. This is going to be a little bit more additionally signage and engraving. Again, it's a little bit broader, kind of like a Printing United, a miniature Printing United show.
Correct. I think this is for the soft side of the business, which is where I really flex. The soft side of the business being apparel.
I mean, we got Samo right here.
All the branding. You know, you do have your customers and your distributors that do support that, but as you notice, the ISS really is the one where that has all the other things. But GPX, great show. One thing that we've noticed here, we've been coming here for many years, is that the quality of the conversations we have. These are actual business people. These are people that, hey, I'm in the game. I'm looking to stay relevant in my game, and at the same time, that's a good opportunity for me. Hey, because you are in a business, you're talking to customers. They need the soft side as well, not just in lasered cups. Embellish this, laser cutting for trophies and plaques and awards and engraving. They are talking to somebody that needs apparel. So when we present ourselves and show the way we do it on the fun, creative, artistic approach, yeah, it does well. It does well. We have those great conversations. Plus, we're also notice at this type of show, again, there's real big players. I really swim nicely in the cottage sector, as you know, but in this world, there's some nice sized accounts. Companies with the big facilities are not afraid of making some big investments, and we definitely have those quality conversations.
So here's like something though, Fern. We got a Cybertruck here, and they're wrapping it. I mean, this started as silver. Now they've got this nice metallic gold on there.
I dig it. I totally like it.
I mean, this is stuff you don't see at Impressions. Like you said, Impressions all about soft goods. Here we've got hard goods.
Correct.
It's not necessarily.
It's still decorating, believe it or not. But yes, I get it. Amazing.
I mean, here on DecoNetwork doesn't exclusively say, hey, you can do vehicle reps, you can do signage, but guess what? You can. We actually have clients who will upload images of a panel truck, or you could even do a Cybertruck, and all it is add a box, customer can drop it. Is it going to be your final exact artwork that you're going to download? No, but they can visually get it, and then you can mock it up. But
well, the technology, the tools of technology nowadays, yeah, everything is possible, et cetera, without having to commit a dime to your experience here. So I totally get it. It's funny we're talking about this because I had a lengthy conversation with they're big. These guys are coders. They're always looking for new opportunities. They have DTG under control in a big way. And they said, Fern, we wanna look into the car wrapping business. I go, we need to go to SEMA. Okay, first of all, because that's where you see that. That's a great show if you haven't been. So because part of their vision was being able to give that online experience, print the things and ship it to individuals. I go, there's some pluses and minuses. I see we got to identify and how do we proof this concept out. But right now, I think because most of the guys that have a car of this nature, or they have whatever their car is, they really want to white glove that experience. If they want to do it their own, I haven't seen that. They usually want to pay somebody to do it. But again, this is the type of healthy dialogue that I do with the guys that are just looking for new opportunities, and that I could absolutely appreciate and respect. But no, it's funny. This is a great market, very saturated market, I'd have to say. So those who do a great job, like I'm seeing here, obviously, will continue to do well. Okay, but.
Yep. No, and behind us is Rapson University. So at a trade show like this, not only are you seeing cars being wrapped, but you can actually be taught and shown how the actual process works.
Well, as we know, every industry is thirsty for information, thirsty for how-tos, thirsty to, hey, how could I do that myself? I want to do that myself. So, no, the fact they have this type of environment, it's again, just another way for people to express what they want to do, become independent, or, again, just stay relevant with what's going on in the trade.
And I've checked out your YouTube. You're getting really good at producing a lot of that content and education. I mean, what I've always said, content is king.
No, absolutely. Content, quality content. Quality content. You know, I've been doing this for 35 years, you know, started in the embroidery side, but ever since the digital came to the world, again, it's just, everything is just explosive, and being able to take advantage of the technologies, take advantage of the affordability of the technologies, take advantage of the tools that are available. Now it's just, what's your direction? You know, and that's another thing that we really do identify in these shows.
Everything from a Mamaki UV printer, which I know you got at your booth.
Right.
We got flatbed UV, eco solvent. Again, we got another Cybertruck that they're about to drop this wrap on. And that's how you write something off right there, right? Just brand it. And,
I've seen those write-offs. I certainly have. You know, I've been coached myself, so I'm not going to go to this degree, but yeah, I get it. I get it.
Oh yeah, I'll just throw the logo on the side, make a little magnet. But again, what differentiates this show is a lot of essentially the signage. If you go to like a PPAI show, you're going to see more of the promo product world.
Correct.
What was the other show that you talked about that is also primarily signage? Was it?
We talked about Print United, the ISA.
ISA, that's it.
Yeah.
ISA is a big show.
They're monster shows, absolutely. And back to, again, my not concerns, it's just there's so much to see, you know, in such a small amount of time. You know, you have to be careful of where you want to position your company, position the assets that you bring to the table. And there are some tools like the Mamaki brand of equipment. Those are broad spread, where versus a brother printer, that's more apparel. So, you know, that kind of, those things need to be considered when you want to exhibit at these type of shows. But again, you got to go regardless. If you're in the game, you're in the business, you got to diversify, stay relevant with information, and check out different shows, because, you know, that's how you find these opportunities. You know, when you are just stuck in just one lane and not constantly exploring different ways of doing things, you're limiting yourself. So again, if you want to grow, you definitely have to stay on top of the curve of getting the information. And when these shows come to you, remember, take advantage of going. It's affordable. You know, it's a write-off. Again, as we know, take the wife, you know, find a babysitter for the kids and just get out there.
Watch it, because my wife keeps bringing it up, and I'm like, oh gosh.
Well, my wife's with me all the time, so I'll still throw you under. It's okay.
So let's take a quick lap around. Again, my favorite booth as far as the way you got it all set up, and you are doing more than just, I mean, most booths here, DTF. It's everyone's favorite new decoration
I'm not even sure anybody else has DTG here, to be perfectly honest with you.
You do.
We're seeing it left and right. You know, let's start by walking over there if you don't mind.
Yep, right back here though, we got a UV roll-to-roll. Then we have a UV DTF roll-to-roll.
Right. So DTG, again, it's been around, it's proven, it's a concept that makes a lot of sense. But again, we're talking about there's a business model there, there's a business model here, there's a business model here, there's a growth opportunity. Again, this right here actually plugs into the bigger digital line system, so you could see, you know, it's all under one belt. So all that matters when you're choosing your right manufacturer. But again, this is a real viable business. It's been around for many years, and we've been in it since it started in 2004 when I saw my first machine, 2005 when we started selling the machines, and we've been at it ever since. So we've seen the evolution, the journey, and it's not dead at all. It's more about, it's another way to decorate apparel. Screen printing is one way, DTG is one way, DTF is one way. I was always asked, is the screen printing going to go away? Absolutely not.
It's not.
Absolutely not.
No.
This is just a different way to address and be that traffic cop and make that right decision. You know, this has to go to screen print because it sells automatically. It's one color, it's 1,000 pieces. No, even if I broker it out. Here, no, I want the smaller, the stuff I'm turning away. I'm able to do it. I really want to go online in a big way. Again, you have that entire curve. So DTG, not dead at all. And in fact, we're looking at our numbers. I go, no, it's still up there. Now DTF makes a nice twist to the whole thing. Again, this right here in the early days, I would have tried to DTG it. Okay, and we probably could have done it and it would have been a pain. But now with DTF, it's like, nope, take measurements, zip, slap, slap. Okay, so again, that kind of stuff you couldn't do before. So I see, again, everything has a specific lane. But as we go from DTG, you know, again, everything being digital. Oh, I remember those guys.
Well, and you know, the cliche is there's a lot of different tools in the tool belt, every decoration process.
Right.
You know, hey, there is a hammer, there's a screwdriver, there's a drill.
Yes.
And you know, a screwdriver and a drill are very similar. But if you try to take a drill certain times, you could really screw it up.
Yep.
Or do you want to, like, if you're building a deck, do you really want to use a screwdriver each time? So every decoration process is a time and place. Sometimes they can do the same job, but is it going to be the best tool for the job? And one of my favorite things, and this is also what's always hurt me being young, is there's so many different ways you can make money. And there's so many different business models.
Slow down.
A big tip, pick your niche, your business model, and pursue it. I started in this industry when I was 20. I was like, oh my gosh, I can do stores, I can do B2C, B2B, do contract. Let's do it all at once. That's where I always made the biggest mistake.
The shotgun approach, I've seen that plenty of times. It's like, it's easy to get excited and good, but yeah, as a business owner, and what are your goals? If your goals are to monetize off your passion, as you put it, what is your passion lane? Find it and just stay on that river until you got that on autopilot, and then what's the next thing and the next thing, and you just, but linear focus here. My passion, and I think it's celebrated here, it's more about, hey, we're apparel decorators, you know, and again, I'm doing stuff. This is UV DTF. This is traditionally for our hard goods. This is for plaques. This is for all this whole case was decorated with UV DTF. But by accident, a fun accident, we tried it on a cap. Hey, that looks cool. And because, again, it's a polyester shell, that glue sticks on it oh so nicely. Whereas if I did a poplin or anything else, doesn't stick nice, it doesn't look great. But again, we're able to go beyond the basic box and just making sure that we're always experimenting and enjoying. But again, now I have different reasons to justify this thing. My little pin, where's yours, by the way?
Oh, I have it in my book bag.
Little pin with the tools that we have here. I'm able to systemize. I got one for you.
You engraved it?
We printed it.
No, not engraved. I'm sorry. You did cut it though. You had a piece of plastic that you started with.
Yeah. We have a laser. You know, entry-level lasers, mid-range lasers, big industrial lasers. We have lasers for textile. So I could only fit so much here. So, but at that, you know, we're having an open house actually next Friday and Saturday, and that's where everybody can see all the other technologies that we have.
So whether somebody's, you know, just looking to get started, entry-level equipment for a decoration process.
Correct.
Like right over here, we had the GTX Pro, great DTG machine.
Correct.
And then you have the 600.
Correct.
You know, different price point, different capabilities, speed, size of print. But again, you guys offer a little bit of everything, whether, again, you're just trying to get started or, hey,
Correct.
I've got huge volume, I need the biggest machine.
I got big plans. It's funny because some of our biggest customers know nothing about apparel, zero. They know everything about coding and marketing. It just happens to be apparel that is their execution. But so that's the audience that, as you just pointed, you know, we believe that if I could take care of my backyard, my core audience, my crafters, my enthusiasts, if I got total command of that, then everything else just will manifest because I'm starting with them. If they want to grow, guess what? They're coming to me for their journey. But all that noise and excitement that they bring, I see the big boys now looking at us and saying, oh, I thought brothers were just for little entry-level people. No, not at all. It's all the same print head pretty much on all machines. That's powerful. I've been back to the vertical manufacturing of this type of system. So yeah, it's a journey. We have any part of the rainbow we could pretty much cover when it comes to talking to our company, garmentprinter.com.
So what might a UV printer, because this is a little bit of a larger, you know, UV DTF printer.
Correct.
What's something like this go for?
We're talking, well, again, the pricing's right here. $20,500 is the entry level. As you know, if you do a lease, that's only a couple $100 a month. You know, it's a very affordable tool. But the things you could do with it, again, when we're talking about, if you're in the apparel stuff, again, it allows you to do fun, creative things like that. This was also a UV DTF sticker for a slap book that these artists are all about. This was also UV DTF.
And you know, every decoration process can be done well or poorly. And one of the main ways to decorate drinkware, which is one of your most popular non-apparel products in our industry, is the fear that, oh, if you put it in the dishwasher, it's going to break down.
Right.
Well, a year ago when I first started playing around with UV DTF, I didn't have that much success when I would outsource transfer and apply it. I'll tell you, everything gets better over time.
Oh,
and it's amazing how durable it is. The other thing to remember with DTF and UV DTF is it's a transfer. So not every job has to be applied by you.
Correct.
You can outsource it. The semi-issue there is it's become a very saturated market when it comes to transfers, especially with DTF. One way to differentiate yourself, to have a UV DTF, and hey, not only do we carry the apparel and anything fabric that we're going to heat apply, hard goods.
Absolutely,
you got that, so
absolutely.
you could be pumping them out, do what you need to do in-house, send them to whatever shop that also needs it and hasn't taken the dive yet.
Yeah, again, the versatility of this, it's mind-blowing. It really is. It does open up, if you're just a small cottage company here, it does diversify you just like that. Yes, you could go with your average customers, but again, I have some people coming in from the auto industry. I go, hey, I need these things for my decorating my dashboards or stuff like that. This is the stuff to do it. Again, the whole, just by having the technology allowed that opportunity to present itself. When we're talking about this gentleman, he was actually part of, I support what we call the Love Drop. When COVID hit, Wahoo's Fish Tacos, which is a franchise out here, I know the owner pretty well. He developed the California Love Drop, and he got all kinds of people to support him. What he would do, he would take free lunches to all the frontliners. So we do free garb, we give this. One of those gentlemen that helped them, he has his own little candy company. He's an executive chef at the Ritz-Carlton, I believe, but he also has his little side hustle, and he was having a struggle branding his little boxes in order to get them to the Ritz-Carltons, get them into other stores, because everybody wanted their little brand. Guess what? We showed him this, put Pelican Hill, put this thing out, his salespeople out there, orders are coming in like crazy. So that, again, this guy's a chef, didn't realize, but again, this is the stuff from a soft-sided good, the guy I'm in the apparel sector, but this type of technology created that opportunity. So it's for a couple.
Smallest learning curve, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Digital. Can you apply a sticker? Because my 4-year-old can, and it's actually been kind of dangerous when I brought UV DTF stickers in the house, and I'm like, I got to be careful leaving it around with my daughter.
See, this is UV DTF.
And it's got that 3-dimensional look and feel, which also just the perceived value goes up.
It throws the skateboard guys wacko. They say, wait a minute here. How did you do that? How did you do that? Again, just technique, technology, a little experimentation, and I'm all about systems. It has to be easy, and there's reasons that this is designed the way it's designed. But
so, like on DecoNetwork, just so you guys know, we don't have a catalog of skateboards. You can upload an image of any product, such as a blank
2.0,
skateboard,
2.0.
and now you can drop all that artwork on there, and your customer get that real-time visualization using the design tool. And back in the day, I bet your skateboard guys would be like, okay, how many hundreds of these do I gotta buy?
Exactly.
And that's where I think, with you guys, garmentprinter.com, you really started.
I'm so proud of you.
I know you are. But you guys really focus a lot on, hey, there is a no minimum, because that's what, Amazon and so forth, hey, I want it tomorrow, and I don't want to have to buy a ton.
You're wrong. I want it yesterday.
I want
it yesterday. No, you're absolutely wrong. Yeah. We are, believe it or not, we are in the mass personalization industry, with what we do. We've had the wholesale, the big production for many, many years. It's been there as means of business. But now with digital, with technology, as you alluded to, being able to do cost effectively, that's what digital brings to our world here. So yes, so when we say that and hear that, it's changing everything. When we sold stuff to Disney had, what stores did they have inside? It was that wasn't CNN. It was I forgot. They have a brand inside. Before, they had to have so much political stuff to have branded T-shirts. Now, guess what? They bought printers, digital printers, got rid of everything, just posted, and people are just choosing and printing on demand. This is in the early days. But just to see that from there to now, again, we're seeing these guys that are doing the online fulfillment of 10,000 unique items every single day at a minimum, and then it segues into stickers, same thing, segues into DTF, same thing, just one. But electronics and digital game plans allows that to happen.
And two things there to piggyback off. So I got in the industry, my best friend in college and just growing up, his dad owned a restaurant, and they had a 2-hour wait every single day, and they were kind of selling some t-shirts. And it's like, if you're gonna wait 2 hours for a meal, you're gonna spend $14 on a t-shirt. Every time they sold one, they're making $8 off of a shirt.
Right.
It's almost more than the meal. So when we went in there, we would stock shirts and so forth, but we would also set up a website because guess what? The women don't want the unisex black t-shirt only. Let them go online, choose the style, the color they want.
You understood your audience.
And then we had DTG to then fulfill it. And now with this stuff, again, it's all about even low, it's great at low run, but it's not bad at high run either.
No.
And a Mamaki like UV printer or an eco-solvent printer, same thing. It's a digital printer using CMYK ink. And in this case, you even have clear and white with this.
So guess what? All that extra vinyl that's fading away, you know, I have orange that I bought. I can't use it. Put it in here because you have the white ink. All the specialty media, you know, some of the things that we're executing with, you know, this has a specialty media inside of it. It's a glitter, and we're playing with the gradients, not just a flat, you know, spot color. We're playing with the shades of gradients, the transparency of the gradients to take advantage of the reflective material behind it. I could do one.
Yep.
I can do one. And when people see one, they want more. So that's the beauty of all this.
Digital printers have gotten cheaper, better, and the consumables have also gotten tremendously cheaper. I mean, I remember when I got into DTG, it was pretty easy to have, you know, $7 worth of ink and a very large print. Those days are kind of over, and DTF is even shrinking a little bit more.
I used to say when DTG first started, you need 3 ones. A printer for a t-shirt for $1, a print for $1, and your labor for $1, you know, but that has come down. It's come down considerably. Now we're at 14 cents a cc, and based on how many machines you have, we could give you even more discounts. But so there's plans for all that. But yeah, I've seen the ink price go from here to, okay, fine, and it's still again, compared to other print medias, it's still the other way, but it's again, I could get the maximum margin by being able to do that one, you know, so that's what people, and easily is the key.
So in this room, DTF is the main apparel printing piece of equipment.
Right.
I walk through the room, I always check off how many DTG printers I see, DTF, screen printers, and DTF is probably 70% of this room. And you know, there's a lot of like, well, which one do I go with? And in my opinion, the next big thing is being able to just hit the colors perfectly. You know, how do you differentiate yourself from another shop offering the same exact process?
I do what we call, and I subscribe to this all my adult life, is just listen to your customer. What do they need? Be that doctor. Ask the right questions. Probe them. Where are you now? What can I solve here? Where do you want to go? Let's understand that journey and then help you navigate. So again, part of our credo is making sure that we can deliver that message regardless of where you are on the rainbow. But back to what you said about DTF. Yes, DTF right now, 8-color systems is the next trends that I see right now. Everybody's doing CMYK, and don't get me wrong, does amazing work, etc. CMYK is what 95% of the industry, unless you're in the real photography-based stuff with gradients and whatnot, that's when you need to talk that type of equipment. But in the apparel decorating sector, you didn't need to get that detailed. But now we are. We're absolutely there, where somebody could choose a Mamaki or choose a Brother, and those are great, but some of them are faster, some of them are a little more expensive, and then some of them have more color, and that's what this particular machine does have 8 colors, which allows some nice differences. Again, just traditional CMYK prints and putting it in a special 8-color mode, I could have more vibrancy. So you could see, just by being able to do that and playing with my rip, I could see some subtle difference. Now, if people can't notice a difference, I go, this technology may not be with you. This is for the educated eye. This is for the guy that has to have that Coca-Cola red, or some other things. This pastel, I gotta have that based on the colors that guess what? You're not gonna go on other 4-color systems. But again, it is a slower technology, but again, it's still a quality, it's fast enough. Let me rephrase that. But again, I'm over here working on a 3rd bedroom. I don't need to do 30,000 sheets a day, etc. I need to do my couple dozen for my brand or for sampling, whatever the case may be. So again, every piece of equipment has its place. But as I continue this journey, you'll see some nice differences just between going, and remember, these were all printed throughout the system. You know, and here's a good example here. Again, here we are in Lakertown, and in the early days, this is all I had to work with. I had to find what's the best color purple here just to get away with it, for lack of a better word. But by putting it in the 8-color mode, same exact piece of art, you could see that difference in my purples now versus the others. Okay, so that, again, that is where the specific tool applies. If you're here in LA, fashion, 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 color, color, color. The other ones, I could probably tweak and get close enough, but it can't be close enough to these artisans that we deal with all the time. So yeah, that is what this particular subset of a technology brings, but it is the next thing, and you're right.
Yep, so again, you're, you're full of knowledge, Fern. GarmentPrinter.com, guys. You can learn a lot about a lot of different decoration process. Fern is a great guy. He treated us to a Dodger game.
That's why you're getting all this great love.
Yeah, we love you, man. So again,
it was a great game, by the way. Tell him 4 home runs in 1 inning.
Shohei Ohtani hitting home runs.
Yeah, I was amazing. I was actually envious, but okay, to a good guy, I'm okay.
GarmentPrinter.com, guys.
Thanks for hearing me out.
Thanks, Fern.
Okay, you got it.
What we've seen with this show is it's doubled each of the last 3 years. You got flock and your block silicone, essentially. These are things that you can't digitally print. How many print heads are on this thing? 15 print heads. How many different types of colors?
CMYK, white, so you're looking at the widest range, especially within edits, color profiles.
One of the coolest, newest things, I mean, they just started selling it pretty much at the show, direct to embroidery. Hey guys, we're here at the Printing United Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada with the one and only Brandon Mills. How's it going, Brandon?
How's it going, man?
Great. So Brandon's actually here local in Vegas. You kind of are spoiled with this show being here every other year. What we've seen with this show is it's doubled each of the last 3 years. I mean, last year was in Atlanta. There's no way it was half this size for apparel. It is traditionally the SGIA so it's very much so geared around signage, and now we're much so in the apparel world.
Yeah, and I actually went to the Atlanta show even though they come here, but I was in the market for a printer, so it was worth it for me to fly across the country to find that. And even from last year, the show this year is much more apparel focused than ever before.
Absolutely, and again, you learn so much these shows. You make informed decisions. You just got to be careful with those reps tell you sometimes, because everybody's going to tell you mine's the best, mine's the best.
Oh yeah.
So being able to get that outside opinion, get the knowledge, and then I know you're part of the Shirt Lab group.
Yeah.
We collaborate, we help each other, so that's also another great way. So over here we have The Rock. We actually visited them yesterday, made a video. This is some cool stuff, Brandon.
This is cool. I came over here earlier.
Spinning around, 4 heat presses, robotic arm to grab the transfer, drop it on the shirt. This could be their hybrid screen printed, digitally printed transfer. It could be the DTF. And then they have an automatic peeler.
So I was talking to one of the techs on this earlier today, and they were saying that they've got 2 presses here, so they can do 5 seconds on each, so that they could double the output on what they're doing. So going from 300 shirts per hour to 600 shirts per hour.
They're saying with 2 operators, 600 shirts is 100% doable. 1 loading, 1 takeoff. Hey, Fern,
this machine's ridiculous too.
Make a video.
Oh, you're busy?
The one and only Fern Padilla, GarmentPrinter.com. Even if you're not exhibiting, you still show up at the show. So again, this is exploded. You've got all your big players. You got Rock, you got Hirsch, you got Brother, you have Epson, you have GSG, M&R.
Have you been over to Central Hall yet?
I have, and I feel like an idiot over there compared to over here. I'm like,
yeah, that's another level.
Yeah. again, I mentioned in the video, but my father-in-law is an offset printer.
Yeah.
And that is his world and so forth. So with Brother, I mean, one of the cooler things that I see over here, one, if you guys have never seen it, the GTX 600, having these additional green and orange. Think about CMYK. Yeah, you get a lot of colors. You start dropping those extra colors in there, though, Brandon. You open up that color gamut.
You expand your gamut beyond just CMYK, which is great, but realistically, 99% of the time, most jobs are going to be within that CMYK range.
Yeah, absolutely.
And but there are certain customers that are going to require that, having those colors.
One of the coolest, newest things, I mean, they just started selling it pretty much at the show, direct to embroidery.
So this is, yes.
Have you not seen it?
Not in person yet.
So check it out. So just a white logo, or white, just using white thread, essentially. And it's kind of hard to see because this is the embroidery, and then this is going beyond it.
Oh, up here, yeah.
Feel it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's wild. But then they also printed.
Yeah, beyond it.
Yeah. Okay. That's a really cool. That's a cool effect.
So if you think about it, it's similar to the color reel, which would have been mounting something above the machine and dyeing the thread right before it's being sewn. In this case, you're just embroidering white thread, and then you're putting on the GTX Brother printer. It's a Brother, product with this camera mount, and it will register the product that you're actually going to be printing and drop that artwork right on there perfectly. I mean, it's incredible.
I wonder how deep it goes into the threads, because is it just going to be on the surface? What happens over time? If those threads start to turn on you, I'm just curious. I don't know.
Well, the one thing is, we're talking about a Brother product.
Yeah.
And Brother's been an innovator, leader in garment printing for decades. Well, not decades. Well, yeah. I mean, literally, we're one of the first DTG. I bought my Brother GTX printer, still have it, still runs, bought it 15 years ago. So, Brother doesn't make junk.
Oh, here's the Brother,
DTF.
the roll-to-roll, which is, I guess, from my understanding, it's a converted DTG that they stuck a roll on.
They did. It's not my favorite product of theirs. I prefer personally a 24-inch wide DTF printer. You have a 24-inch.
Yeah.
That's just what I prefer.
But I like to see that they're getting into the game and innovating, and it'll be. They're not far from having one of those as being a competitor in that space.
Well, and then like this digital inline DTG is just
insane,
crazy cool the way this works.
Looks like this is the competitor for the Now from Rock, which we just walked past.
Absolutely. So, and then the Polaris from M&R.
Yep.
They're all big money.
Yeah, they are.
Some of these shops they got a fleet of them, and it's like.
And if you're able to automate your shop to where your sales are coming in and your production flow is to the point to where you can just load it up, I mean, automation is king in that space.
It's not even just our industry; it's any industry.
Sure.
But in our industry, I don't care what decoration process it is. Labor is getting harder and harder to get. Ever since COVID, I mean, it's screwed everything up.
Yeah.
And it's just making it a challenge.
Prior to DTF, I was looking at Sizer here about
Caesar.
I
get known that word all the time.
Caesar.
Yeah, and if you look at the cool stuff here, you got flock and your block silicone. Essentially, these are things that you can't digitally print. I mean, I know you're big into DTF, and you have an embroidery, but you can't do that with either one of them. The look, the feel. Really cool technology. Caesar's been a leader in HDV.
I feel like it's hard to do these at scale, though, especially because you have to weed everything out. But,
I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate there, because again, we just saw Fern Padilla at GarmentPrinter.com in LA. You all of a sudden take a T-shirt and you can make it a $100 shirt because you've made something very fashion forward, very different than anything else you actually see. So. There's a market. I mean, every decoration process has a time and place.
Sure.
You just have to find the right market for it, the right marketing behind it. Nothing is dead. Hey, look over here, Brandon. They're cutting the cut and sew.
I never want to do this.
No, you don't.
I never ever want to do the cut and sew.
You want to have a team of seamstress?
Oh,
we were just in a shop that had 20 seamstress sewing jerseys.
Are these these are the ones with the lasers cutting it out?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the registration, there's no hand. What they were doing in the shop that we just toured, they were doing reversible jerseys. So imagine doing this and then putting it back in the calendar press to then press it. Nuts. No, awesome.
I mean, that'd be good for flags and things as well. I would imagine if you're able to do both sides.
Anything 100% polyester. That's how flags are made. It is a sublimated product. I mean,
so is it reversible on one piece of fabric, or are they putting two pieces of fabric together?
One piece of fabric.
Really?
It's the lightest.
Yeah.
That's why all your jerseys these days are primarily sublimation. Now, the NFL's not wearing a sublimated jersey, but I mean, almost all your kids' sports teams are now.
The M&R Quattro, which, as far as I know, it's just a Chinese printer that they made blue, but that's kind of how they all are. So.
They are.
But I think they are putting some innovation into it.
They're putting some safety stuff definitely into it. It's called the Quattro because it's the 4th type of printer that M&R has come out with.
Oh.
So you have the screen printer, obviously. Then they went DTG.
Yeah.
And then they went digital squeegee. And now this is DTF. So that's why it's called the Quattro, if you didn't know.
No, I didn't. I thought it had 4 print heads.
Yeah.
But it's all the same technology for now.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's DTF, man. I know you're very much so into the decoration process. It's been the biggest disruptor by a mile in our industry. It's affected everything, whether it be DTG, screen, embroidery, HTV, all of them have been affected by DTF.
What do we got here?
This is AWT. They make just an ink mixing.
Yep.
You don't see that at every show. When you go to the bigger shows, you see things that you don't see at all.
One of the things in DTF it is the white and the use of pigment. And I know DuPont is. I mean, all of them are going to have pigment that settles, and they all recommend that you shake and do all these things to keep that suspended.
Don't shake, slowly stir.
Right. Well, that's what we're just seeing that bucket right there. Makes you wonder.
No. I've got one of ink mixing tool.
Really?
It's called the ink mixer. Slowly rotates it.
Just rotate the bottle.
Harbor Freight. Going to Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
They got a little thing you can put the bottle on because you don't want to shake it. When you shake it, you're introducing air into it, and that's not what you want going into the lines.
Right. Well, I know Mamaki, I mean, they do a lot to degas their inks.
And they're using a cartridge, which has pros and cons. It's going to be more expensive, but you're not going to run into some of those issues versus when you're using DuPont, and right here, we're at the new coat, essentially Cobra Flex, and they are primarily, I think, the DuPont ink guys.
Right.
And DuPont guys, they're one of the oldest, largest manufacturers of chemicals in the world, not even just
we've had no issue with any air in our inks, but I mean, you've got it going through all the hoses coming out, going through a damper, and then by the time it gets to the print head, there's really no air in the lines at all.
Well, and what I use, I get my ink from DTF Experts, and my ink comes in a clear bottle.
Yeah.
So if there's any settlement on the bottom, I can actually clearly see it. If I want to take a light to it or anything.
Right.
And they claim that it is a, it doesn't have glycol in it.
How's it going, man?
Pretty much always have.
Dang.
Yeah.
YouTube's blowing up.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it looks like you guys are content creating each other now.
Yeah.
You tell us anything about the Venom?
Venom?
So this is the guys. How many print heads are on this thing?
15.
15 print heads. How many different types of colors?
CMYK, white, so you're looking at the widest range, especially with in-edits, color profiles.
So, yeah, I mean, again, get 15 colors. We have
15
CMYK.
colors. Yep.
What else?
We're running 2,800 square feet an hour, up to.
That's incredible.
Blasting them out, so high volume print shops. This is the bad boy. This is the machine you're gonna want.
And it's manufactured in Arizona, correct?
Tempe, Arizona. We're out in Tempe, Arizona. Correct.
I visited their shop actually, not too long ago.
And you just bought a Cobra Flex UV DTF printer,
I did,
right?
yeah. So I mean, that's my second Cobra Flex piece of equipment. The first one being the 4-head printer that we have.
So we have the Venom here, which is a monster. There's Chris and Jim. They are the brains behind everything. We got to stop by and make another video with him. And then we have the King Cobra, which I think is also fairly new, right, Chris?
Yep, King Cobra's new.
Another big boy.
What, five print head?
5 heads.
Five, yeah.
It also comes in a 6-head.
Okay.
So color expanders.
Very cool. And then over here we have the Stealth, which I think is the coolest printer if you are, going to want to put it in a warehouse, which
I'm pretty sure it's
almost
bulletproof
impossible.
too.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing has a humidifier, dehumidifier, it has an AC built. I mean, like, this thing is crazy. If you want to print in the middle of the desert out here, you can do it with this thing.
Oh, look at the color range on there. I love it.
Yeah, what do we have in this thing, Chris? What colors do we have? I mean, it hits some of those. How are you hitting a hot pink like that?
So we got color expanders in here. We got fluorescent yellow, fluorescent magenta, and a green and a red expander color.
Are those all DuPont?
DuPont colors, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. And this is Brady. He's from Newcoat. He's one of our dealers.
So Brady? Yeah. So, wow, guys, I mean, getting those fluorescents in there, you really start opening up that color gamut.
You do.
Yeah, it takes it to about from 300 to about 600,000.
300 to 600,000 colors. Jeez. But yeah, this thing is a tank.
InEdit will automatically.
Right here.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah. All the best people are coming together.
Yeah, what is InEdit?
Yeah.
Well, we develop software and we do color management for these guys. So we try to get the best color that we can. And we try to, the color that you see on screen, so the color is that you get when you print.
So yeah, color profiling. We can just keep throwing ink heads in there. We can keep throwing colors and fluorescence and so forth. But if you don't dial in the color profile and have the RIP software properly set up with it, it's not going to really do you any good.
Exactly.
So if I throw an RGB file in there, it's automatic. I don't have to do anything else. It's going to automatically rip.
Correct.
To the.
And also the best thing about the native software is that you can just put them in all the Adobe files.
Yeah.
So you don't have to export like PNGs or anything else. You just put your Photoshop file.
Yeah.
And it just moves it.
This thing is really cool. I've been a big fan of this Stealth since one of the last shows we went to. Again,
I'm mic'd up.
It eliminates a lot of the variables, and guys, they're making these in Phoenix, Arizona, and if you can, humidity is an issue there. I mean, you can print with this thing anywhere. What's this go for nowadays, Chris?
Well, at the show,
Brady said.
yeah, at the show here, it's going for just under 44,000. With our show discount going on through the next couple weeks, retail it's going to be around the 47, 48 marker.
Wow. And again, look at those colors. I mean, you're not going to hit that with CMYK. There's no way you could do that with that turtle without it. No way. Do you have one of your UV printers here too?
We definitely need the UV at this show because we're pushing out the big machines.
Don't distract those users, those customers.
I mean, there's a purpose for this show, and it's a lot of the customers that are looking to retool their business. I actually go from having multiple machines to getting bigger machines to really knock down, labor costs and to get more production out the door. So
again, open up that color range. Absolutely.
I've got a question though. So I've got the Cobra Flex 4-head, and it's got the extra ink tanks.
Yep.
And initially we thought we would just do CMYK for speed.
Yep.
How much speed am I going to sacrifice if I convert it over to the expanded color?
About half. If it's a 4-header, you're going about half.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to cut it down. That's why, like on that machine there, on the King Cobra, we're going into a 6-head, so you still get that.
You still have
speed.
the speed, but then you have the expanded colors.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And what's the 6-head machine running right now in terms of price?
Right now for the show, it's just under 54,000.
Okay.
And how many square feet an hour are we approximately printing here?
On this one here, being that this one has got the color expanders, it's about half, but generally on a forehead, you get about 244 12x12s an hour.
I thought my printer was fast at 100 square feet an hour.
Brady's been a big part too with a lot of customers that we're getting a lot of these Venoms in, and he's seeing how it's changing these customers' businesses too quite a bit.
It's just really streamlining their processes. They're saving space, they're saving labor, they're getting a massive amount of production without having to add 40, 45 machines to their operation. So it's been a big help to them moving forward. I think as well, when you move to those bigger machines, you start to attack some of the screen print market, right? The pricing and the costing is starting to really make sense. You're not going to have to offer minimums to customers anymore. It's full color. Just a lot of advantages on the DTF side.
Absolutely, everyone's DTF.
We've been We've been really happy with our uptime as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're printing from the time we open the shop to the time we close the shop, all day, every day.
Well, we were there 2 days ago, and he was pumping them out all day.
Most people don't realize that with the inks and the quality and the print heads and stuff like that the uptime in the morning is super important. Some customers in the past were spending 2 hours just to get their machines kind of up and going. Yeah. Obviously, having the environment right, whether it's a stealth or you just have your room environment right. It's one of the most important things you need to think about.
Chris, where can somebody go to learn more about these machines?
You can go online to CobraFlex.com, or you can go to one of our dealers, New Coach.
DecoNetwork.com is going to have a lot of information on there. The CobraFlex website is going to have a lot of information, especially on troubleshooting, what to do if you do have problems. There's a lot of expertise and a lot of experience on both sides there.
Well, probably the biggest thing that I've seen as an advantage with CobraFlex is definitely the support.
Yeah.
There's with any machine you get, you're going to have little kinks and problems, little hiccups here and there. And every single time we just say, hey, rent a sport ticket, we get on the phone with somebody, and I'd say 9 times out of 10 it's something easy, and we're able to get up and going right away. And that rare time that it is something mechanical and we have to have a part, overnight it, get us back up and going, and it's been a great experience. It really has.
Definitely. Support's key.
Again, you got to come to these types of shows to really get the full, spectrum, ironically, of all the equipment on the market and see, what is available. But when you run into something like this, where those are some really good colors popping, you just don't see it at every show. DTF is such a new decoration process, so every couple months you go to a show, you see the new stuff. And for those who don't know, there's a really great show right in their backyard next year. I think it's April 1 and 2 is the DTF Expo. It'll be, second or third year? Second year. Looks really cool. We're going to be there. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys find this walkthrough helpful, and look out for our other couple, because Printing Night is way too big to make just one of these. So, hey, thanks, Brady.
Yeah, no, thank you guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Right on, guys. Appreciate you. Yeah.
The one and only ZZ Top Brandon Hills. Look at these hotter colors. I mean, that's it's a very difficult color to hit. So you have one screen, which, less labor to get it ready, but then you're also probably getting a better hand by not having to lay all those colors over it necessarily.
Look at the neckline on this. That's a
Colin shirt. Really nice. That's what Colin likes, is that nice thick collar.
That is really nice.
How long did it take you to get here, just the flight?
From door to door, 24 hours.
Oh my
And was it worth it?
Of course. I got to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, we're here at the Printing United Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada, and with me today is Merrill. Meryl's a longtime DecoNetwork user. We've made a podcast or two together.
Podcast or two. You filmed The Office. You got to hang out
and you've been on the board of decorators for Gildan. I mean, Meryl is all about the industry.
Yep.
What
Yep.
in-house you guys are doing?
We do
HTV.
We do HTV. We do DTG. We do DTF. We do sublimation. We subcontract screen printing. We subcontract embroidery. We do all paper printing.
You do promo products.
We do tons of promo products. All graphic design. We're a member of ASI. We just do a lot of everything. Anything anybody needs, we offer them. We don't want to be limited. So, yeah.
Now, Meryl.
And we're DecoNetwork users. Yep.
It's such a big show. We had to make a couple of these videos. So we're in the back half of the hall. And, right here is a pretty cool company, PCNA. We actually made a video with them yesterday. They're right in your backyard in Miami.
They're like maybe about a half hour from us. And it's great to order from them because, we've been ordering from them for a long time. So they have different divisions. They've got bullet line. They've got journal books. They have leads. They have a whole bunch of different.
You look at all the products they have. What makes them unique is they do such a wide range. When we think of apparel, we think of the big three, Sanmar, S&S, and Alpha Broder. When you think of hard goods, PCNA is kind of at the top of their big three. It's them, it's HIT, which is also in your backyard.
Yep.
And again, Alpha, pretty big in the hard goods space now since they bought Primeline.
Look at that, printed.
Yeah, and when we were talking with them yesterday, they've gone a lot of digital now, like everybody. Digital just kind of, it reduces kind of the skill and the labor force that you have to have, which is a challenge for all of us in the industry.
Right.
And then secondly, the lower runs and just things that have been a nightmare to screen print can now easily be done digitally as well. Every decoration process is a time and place. Over here we've got more DTF.
We've actually bought blanks from PCNA
and then decorated.
Yeah.
So
and sometimes when I place an order, if I have like a no minimum or I have a minimum order, I'll order the amount for the customer and then ask them to send me the balance in blanks.
They've got a new DTF printer here, and it has a lot more, colors than your CMYK. So just like, earlier we were at the new Cobra Flex booth. What we're seeing at these shows now, Meryl, is, again, wider color ranges and gamuts. Look at these hotter colors. That's that's a very difficult color to hit with just CMYK. You almost can't do it. So what do you have to do? You have to have more print heads in here, more colors, get some fluorescence in there.
Right.
And then you got to have the right RIP software in the color profile because just having more print heads is not enough.
No, the RIP software is so important.
What is really cool, so Rob was just saying it, over here we have Apparel List and the Apparel Education Center. So if you're wanting to learn more about the industry outside of our YouTube channel, Printing United has essentially their Apparel List division. Cassie Green heads that up. Really great content, really great education.
They also have the new Women in Print. That I think they have a special now for all women if they want to sign up now. I think they said it's only $59 a year to be a member of Women in Print, which is part of Printing United. You don't have to be a Printing United member to be in Women in Print, but I'm definitely signing Sarah and I up and the rest of the girls in the office.
Again, I love this show. It's the second year I've been to it, and again, it was a sign show for a long time. Mm-hmm. And the thing about signs and paper printing, all that, it's gone down because things are more digital, whether it be a sign or even a business card. You can have it on your phone. So Printing United, essentially, just coincidentally, apparel became a big focus, and it just keeps getting bigger. I compare the show to printing Impressions Long Beach. Absolutely.
Well, the apparel has its own hall. Its entire hall.
Well, and again, you've got a lot of blank suppliers here, like Next Level, Bella Canvas.
Yep.
And you can see the newest lines and, speak to your reps.
Yeah, if you look at this, look at the neckline on this. That's a really
That's a
nice,
Colin shirt.
Really nice
That's
neckline.
what Colin likes, is that nice, thick collar.
That is really nice. I'm glad we walked over here because this is great.
It's such a big show. It gets.
I know.
There's almost too much. this show is so big, you honestly need 3 full days, and you still aren't going to get the whole experience.
No, I know. And you can, and samples. You can come back with samples. We're going to have a bunch of samples in our office, and this is great to have. You show people, and then they buy it. People see it, they like it, they want it.
You feel like a kid at the candy store.
I know.
You know, it's funny, you go to events, and they often have a promo product, and then here it is a promo industry, so have a lot. And then here's another thing we do. We have someone like Meryl bring us over to a tonal. Is that
atonal?
Atonal.
What does atonal mean?
It's like a dissonance, it's a music term, I believe.
Okay.
My brother had it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So one thing we do here at the show, I'll go around, I'll look for new blank apparel vendors, and try to get them on DecoNetwork's catalog. So we don't charge anything to do that. It's just working with the actual vendor to get the data in the right format to us. That can be a challenge, but we are always looking to add new vendors, making it easier for you to be able to create those quotes and orders because you need the products there to be able to create that nice mock-up. And it looks like here with hats, you guys are doing just about everything?
Yeah, we started about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. We brought in some basic products, and we've been kind of chasing some fashion-forward things with elevated quality materials and sewing. We have a chunky corduroy. It's very pronounced, and in a few different colorways than seen here. And then we have a cotton nylon hat that takes heat really well. A lot of our decorators are pulling the rope behind the cap to decorate, and then go ahead and heat press your direct-to-film transfers. A lot of 5 panels for the reason is, a lot of people are doing direct-to-film transfers on them.
Hey, I don't care if it's just DTF. A 5 panel is easier to sew than a 6 panel.
For a lot of people, yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, yep. And our 6 panel truckers do sew really nicely. We've done a lot of product testing since we're decorators as well, not for atonal, but we do product test all of our products quite frequently, and they do sew really nicely. They're soft. They're not like another trucker hat that maybe is like very stiff to get a needle through.
Absolutely. Hats are as popular
than. I love the feel of this. This is a little bit different than your normal hat.
Yeah, it's a little different material. It's got.
Oh, and look, it's got Colin's favorite. It has Colin's all about the rope, and then secondly, he loves it when you can hide that, stitching from back there in the back.
Absolutely, yeah. And it gives it a little structure to hold that point up. For some people, they're after that look. That keeps that front tall.
Yeah, you can rock that.
I look gangster in this?
Yeah.
Very.
All right, Meryl, we've got a lot more to see.
Okay.
All right, Matt, we're going to be working on it. Yeah.
All right, bye, Matt. We'll see you later.
Yeah, see you later.
This is it's such a fun show, a lot of energy. And again, you see everything here beyond apparel.
Look at the beautiful prints. There was a machine down there using HP inks that was printing latex. The color was just unbelievable. I couldn't believe the color. For signage, for car magnets, for metal signs, and you get to see everything in one spot. So you see, if you don't have the machinery, somebody else who does, you can utilize their services.
Yeah, it's absolutely information overload. I don't know about you, but you finish your day and you're kind of like, my head hurts. There's a lot of...
I know. But you know what? Honestly, I get excited going to these shows because
absolutely.
Oh my God, anything looks great with glitter. Right?
UV, that holographic, that's something you're not going to do on an eco solvent typically because eco solvent does not typically have that white ink versus the UV does. So you can see they're using CMYK, a couple layers of clear and a couple white to give it that extra durability as well with that clear coat.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So this is a bulking system and this is a cartridge system. Oh, they're different machines.
Well, and this is an eco solvent. You know what you don't see very often is a Mamaki next to an Epson. No. But again, dealers, you typically don't go direct to a manufacturer for most equipment. You actually go through a dealer because one, a tech should typically install the equipment, and two, if you have an issue, you're going to need to have it worked on.
Right. You have to have the right service person, the right technicians, and usually these companies that are manufacturers' reps, they know a little bit more because they've been dealing with other lines for many years.
Well, and you went Mamaki. I mean, one of the reasons why, I mean, you're talking about a company that's been around for a long time. There's a lot of peace of mind.
Yep.
Going with a company like that.
Yeah. I mean, I specifically did that because of the longevity, the quality of the company, the quality of the machinery, the ability to get parts, because that's a big problem sometimes, is parts. But
I mean, look at this.
It's gigantic.
Look, okay, and this is just our hall.
Right.
Right. This is the South Hall. There is another hall that is as big, if not bigger.
Right.
And it's really hard to fathom again how many vendors there are. I am pretty convinced that this is bigger than Impressions Long Beach, just the apparel side.
I think so. Yeah,
now that is not knocking Impressions Long Beach. I mean, really, I would never knock any Impression shows. They're great, but there's really two shows every year that are just kind of above the rest: Printing United, Impressions Long Beach. And next year, the show will be in Orlando. In your backyard.
I know. And Printing United was not like this a couple years ago.
It was not.
It just like
wasn't even like this way last year.
No. But it just blossomed into apparel, and I think because of print on demand, digital printing, that the other printers had no choice but to open their eyes and see this is what's going on, and things that they knocked before, now they can't knock it because people are asking for it.
Oh my gosh! You want me to do skee ball?
Skee ball.
All right, Meryl.
This is my favorite
competition.
game.
All right, scan it.
It's like a Atlantic City on the board.
Man, I have not let one person scan me the last 2 days.
All right.
So
Stand by test drive.
you're gonna really stand out above the rest. All right, Meryl, you got to compete with me.
All right. Okay. Wait, this is a lightweight ball. This is.
Listen, you guys hit 100. You can take the skee ball machine home.
Okay. All right. Okay, I was an expert in a
Right, so I got to get 100, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, you gotta.
Okay, all right.
That's the right technique right there.
Oh man, do over?
Yeah, but this is her generation. She's got the better skill for it.
Well, it's the ball.
It's all about the ball. It's not doesn't have enough weight.
Hard ball.
Oh, you got 10.
All right.
Oh, I got 10.
All right.
The bare minimum. That
Does he
sounds
get a prize?
kind of like me.
Oh man.
Look at the balls, no worries.
We'll be here all day with Meryl.
Yeah, let me take a picture of you doing that.
But she's going to nail it.
Yeah.
No. It's so light, you don't give it credit of how difficult it's going to
We
be.
need those baseballs.
Yes.
Oh, right in. Okay. All right.
I feel like I could throw it right in.
Here, let me try it. I got it. Now let's try it. Oh, okay. I got a 10.
Justin.
Nice to meet you, Justin.
Thanks. Thank you. You too. That's fun.
Now, if I only knew what they actually did.
Okay.
It looks like they do signs.
They must do signs.
So, yeah, I mean, and I'll tell you, something that Colin is obsessed with is how cool these displays are, these booths are.
So cool.
We've almost thought about doing, ranking the top 10 best booth displays.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I think it's too difficult to judge them.
Did you see that big Tesla over there that they were wrapping?
Oh, yeah.
In the red metallic foil?
Looks like here we have a, oh gosh, is it a milling machine? I mean, it's a flatbed cut. No, it's a flatbed cutter.
Yeah.
But they're going through some thick material there.
Yeah, that looks like
it's
plexiglass. It's like thin plexiglass.
Look, it's pretty cool though over there. Oh, you saw it just closed.
Yeah.
It can change the cutting tool that it's going to be using for the different types of materials.
Oh, wow.
Technology's fun, isn't it?
Oh my God, yeah.
And again, at most of the shows we go to, we don't see this.
No. And you don't see like the stuff coming out of it. I guess it sucks it up.
It's got a vacuum connected to it. Cool stuff, Meryl.
Very cool stuff.
Here's something I'm really starting to see a lot of, Meryl, is engraving. You really have two leaders in this space. Trotec and Epilog have always been the two main brands. Okay. What I've seen in the past 8-10 years is, well, really, probably more in the last 5, is a lot more desktop engraving machines. So if you're like a little hesitant to get into this and you know, you don't want to spend $20,000 plus, X-Tool is one of the newer brands where, hey, they have desktop units.
Look how intricate you can get on it too.
Oh, I know.
Look at the detail.
So that looks like a, when it comes to laser engraving, you really have two main types. You have CO2 lasers, and then this one looks like a Galvo. It just depends on what you're primarily going to be decorating and what effect you need. Are we going to cut? Are we going to mark? Are we going to engrave? So there's, again, just like I said earlier, there's a tool for every decoration application, and it's going to come down to the artwork, the quantity being purchased, and the substrate that it's going to go on to.
The artwork is a big thing. I mean, that is, for our industry, I mean, it is a big thing. I think we all deal with it every day. People thinking that their graphic designer is sending us artwork that is not, you know, the greatest artwork. And then how do we have to handle that? That's a big issue in our industry.
There's this guy, Chris. He came all the way from Queensland, Australia. How's it going, Chris? Wow. We played Topgolf with him the other day.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, he's an absolute character, guys, because he's Australian. You gotta love the Aussies. Are you having a good show, Chris?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Pretty good stuff on display and getting some new ideas.
You don't always see this in Australia, but in Europe, you do have a lot of these shows, like the FESPA show, really good, we were talking about.
Yeah, I want to get there at some stage. We've got shows, but it's probably not on the same scale as this. So,
yeah, we were talking about how big this show is. It's incredible,
massive.
isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, first day I was worn out.
And this guy was trying to get us to go out clubbing the first night, and we were like, we're tired. But again, guys, think about that. He traveled across. How long did it take you to get here, just the flight?
From door to door, 24 hours.
Oh my!
And was it worth it?
Of course. Yeah. I got to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely.
How long have you been in the United States for?
Leave on Sunday after the Sean O'Malley show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Commitment.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll see you, Chris.
Yep.
Yeah, we will. All right. He's down to party.
Yeah.
So, Meryl.
Yes.
We had a really cool podcast that we made. Alpha Broder. They're a part of the big 3.
Yep.
Alpha was just acquired by the second biggest S&S. If you look at, you know, and I'm not saying, hey, revenue is everything, but if you look at the revenue of S&S and Alpha and you combine them, they pretty much equal Sanmar.
Yeah.
So what's unique about Alpha, though, is they've always been an apparel supplier, but they do a lot of hard goods now, and they ventured into the promo world with it.
They did.
And they sell it blank plus decorated.
Yes.
So if you're trying, you know, I'm really getting into UV DTF, but I don't feel like putting, you know, 200 stickers on something. So I kind of like the idea of offering the same product that I can buy blank, or I can send to the supplier, just like you described with PCNA.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, so this is, they have Prime Line.
Yep, that's their brand. Again, they're part of the big 3 blank suppliers. PCNA, HIT, Alpha. They are the 3 biggest. And, you know, if you could put your logo on it, they got a lot of these products.
They sure do. And I think that having the Prime Line has opened up more apparel decorators to sell promotional products.
I think promo has I know promo has absolutely exploded in our industry.
Yeah.
I know you just got a GTX Brother DTG printer.
Yep.
I've always been a big fan of Brothers DTG. This Aeon printer, we've been in some shops with them. I mean, it's incredible, but you know what I've never seen inside that thing? Look, it's got a screen in there.
Wow.
So what do they, I mean, again, we have a new digital process. Or hybrid.
So it's a hybrid process, I guess.
It is screen printing the white underbase, going in there, and then digitally printing over. So you have one screen, which, you know, less labor to get it ready, but then you're also probably getting a better hand by not having to lay all those colors over it necessarily.
So I wonder if that ink is a special ink that, well, it has to be, that holds the water-based DTG inks. It has to be
Well, back there, I bet it has it's got to dry it at some point. Well, it could be wet on wet. I don't know. We're gonna have to come back.
We're gonna have to research that technology.
I know it's so much to absorb at a show like this.
Right. Well, you know, with DTG and the DTG inks, the one part of DTG that's an issue is that the white clogs a little bit sometimes. So something like that, you're not clogging the white because you're squeegeing the white.
Well, you're not going to want to do that for just one individual shirt.
No.
Over here we have Happy Japan. We've always had a nice relationship with them. Again, it's Japanese made. It's kind of in the name.
Yeah, right.
This is actually Tex-Mac, who is the primary distributor of Happy Japan equipment.
Okay.
Big fan of what they make. Very well made, and I like it when the vendors do the most challenging possible stuff. So, they're often going on the hardest to decorate hats.
You mean like
and other products.
Embroidering on the mesh on the back?
Yeah, that does look like fun.
Yeah, and it looks good too.
Express Screen is over here. They're a cool, different way to develop your screens. For screen printing, you don't have to have that dark room. It's essentially a computer-to-screen operation with not stretch and glue, not roller frames, their own technology.
And you got Haynes here, tried and true. And
yeah, absolutely. Haynes in their gigantic T-shirt that they always have at the shows.
Right. Here's Threadfast. They have a nice line of soft shirts.
We have Ninja Transfers, obviously one of the most popular in our industry for transfers. It is a cold peel, at least I think they still are. But, when it comes to outsourcing, I'm a big proponent of it. But whenever possible, I'm a fan of outsourcing to a local shop because I just feel like we can have a closer, better relationship from it rather than just, somebody that kind of treats us like a number sometimes.
Right. We don't want to be numbers because everything we do is custom, is personal.
Oh my.
Wow.
Can you imagine setting this machine up for 3 days of a show?
No. This thing must take a semi, obviously, to bring it in here. How about breaking it down when you have like 24 hours to break down?
You know what's funny is that, I kid you not, a minute after this show ends tomorrow at 3 o'clock, they will start ripping up the carpet and everything. It's quick turnover. I mean, again, this is one of the largest exhibit halls in the country. Sanmar. Can't go wrong with Sanmar, guys.
Nope.
I mean, I am a big Sanmar fan. I raise a PO every day with them. I love they manufacture a lot of their own blanks.
Yeah, and they make great products. Their own brands are great.
They are.
The
District
brand and
Sport Tech, Port Authority, Port Company.
And
I love Cornerstone.
And they bring out new products. So they have a whole new product line where it says coming soon, and I'm like, oh, I want to order those samples.
Their customer service is incredible. Hey,
they're on point.
Meryl, you got to check out this Corny printer over here.
Okay.
So Corny is a leader in DTG.
Yep.
One thing that they have done is they've really incorporated, again, those additional colors beyond CMYK to open up the color gamut, especially when it comes to fluorescence. But they can get three-dimensional with the DTG, which is absolutely incredible. And their inline here is just a sight to see. It's very similar to like the M&R Polaris. I can't remember what Rox is called, but this Corny Apollo is incredible. Look at this.
Yeah,
this is one unit.
Yeah, you need like a whole room for this. It's
a whole room. You need a whole warehouse. but I mean, look at what all's going on in here. Looks like they're not really printing with it at the moment, but you need like a full-time engineer in your shop.
You do.
In case something were to happen. Looks like they're using a bulk ink system though. But wow, this
is like a house.
I know. At the front of the show, they had just like their 2 platen machine with no dryer this inline technology.
Look how big it is. I didn't realize it was
I
all
know.
like this. Holy, it's like a football field.
It's funny, I haven't asked them. It is funny sometimes I'll approach like, how much is this? And they can't even really give me an answer
$1
necessarily
million.
until you're, oh, I love that. Or no, it wasn't that. That's the Alpha or Little Rascals, the
Right.
1 million. You're making me feel old. Because like I remember when that movie came out, Colin was like 3 and he can't. And I was like, and then most of the stuff went over my head, but it was still hilarious.
So funny. Right. Austin Powers.
Whoa. Austin Danger Powers.
Right. I think we lost Sarah. Is she here somewhere?
Somewhere.
Back here somewhere. When you come to the show, and you like Sarah's with me, so Sarah's our production manager. It is so amazing to be able to share with your staff that is actually, it's not just the owners that need to come here, but when you bring your staff here, they actually can see things better, learn things better.
I highly suggest, bring your staff. I bring my 2 production managers to the Impressions Long Beach show, but next year it might be Orlando. But I'm already planning the Disney World trip
for that.
Nice. It's funny. I can't bring the 2 and 4-year-old to Vegas, but Orlando in October, awesome.
They're going to bring you.
Yes.
Right.
So, and we are at the one and only DecoNetwork booth.
Yeah.
Again, I joke, you can't go wrong going blue.
No.
I mean, if the printer's blue, not to say, hey, anything that's not blue is junk.
I need a DecoNetwork t-shirt.
You do?
Need one, yeah.
You do? I wonder who could make you one.
I don't know.
Or I wonder who could send you the logo to make your own.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Again, you guys got to think about going to Printing United Orlando next year. This is a show on a whole nother level. Had a great time. Thank you so much, Meryl, for joining us.
Of course.
And look forward to doing this again in the near future.
Absolutely.
And guys, again, check out our podcast that we did on the
Spilled Live. Spilled.live.
Yeah,
YouTube channel.
She has a whole room just dedicated to doing the podcast.
Right.
So
right. And we're going to be doing more podcasts, more interesting stuff that people in our industry want to hear. And so just stay tuned. And hey, if anybody wants to offer suggestions of who I should talk to, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with people that are going to help us all build our businesses.
And that's this industry. We are not look at each other like we're competitors. We need to bump heads. We are one big community there to help each other, and it's not like that in most industries.
No, it's not. It's not. This is great. I'm so happy to be in this industry.
Yep, and it's going nowhere because I mean, as long as people are wearing this stuff,
I know
it's not going to stop.
I know, and the DecoNetwork community is great.
Yep.
Really great.
Because we have people like you to make it a community.
People like you to bring us all together.
I try. All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you, Meryl.
You're welcome.
I know what this is. This is a flatbed UV printer.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, it's just flying through this machine.
They just bought a $6 million press at the last Printing United Expo. It took months to get it dialed in and installed. Can you imagine bringing this equipment and setting it up for 3 days of show? Again, a little bit of everything. It just keeps going, Colin. Hey guys, we're here at the Printing United Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you've never been to this event, you don't know what you're missing. It is by far the largest trade show in North America when it comes to apparel, signage, and offset printing. What we've seen over the years is there's now fewer and fewer essentially paper printing companies here because, hey, think about it. How much paper mail are you getting? And and things like that. A lot of things are going digital. That doesn't mean that print is dead, but apparel is becoming a much bigger focus of this show. But in this video, we're going to go and walk through, again, the offset printing, think paper printing, and all things signage. There's some really big equipment in this room. Colin, it's just, it makes M&R's booth, when they're setting up their screen printing, look simple compared to what we see at this expo. For 3 days, they're bringing millions of dollars worth of equipment. And again, we had a lot of fun last year. You just check out this automation, just to move media from one to another. It's all about automation when it comes to apparel, signage, offset, doesn't matter. How can we make things more automated? For several reasons. One of those reasons is, ever since COVID, it's become harder and harder to find that skilled labor. And once you have them, how do you keep them? I mean, it's just all changed since COVID. And when you go digital and you go automation and you're using, robots, when you can, you're going to make things easier. And if that employee quit or you couldn't find somebody, it's just not as big of an issue.
So
the other
Zach,
thing about going digital.
This is Fujifilm. When I'm a camera guy, when I think Fujifilm, I think cameras. That's not the case. They do much more than just cameras, obviously. I mean, what do we have here?
Oh, gosh, Colin, you're going to make me completely lie. I'm thinking I'm seeing all digital with this Fujifilm. My father-in-law is actually a lithographer. He runs he's the production manager of a 150-person sign and offset printing company. And just like apparel, what he has seen is lithography is essentially screen printing for paper and other media. Well, it's not dead, but digital has become a big part of it. So they just bought a $6 million press at the last Printing United Expo. It took months to get it dialed in and installed. And, at a show like this, they're going to bring them for 3 days. So if you ever wonder, how do they print it? The Printing United Expo is unlike any other show. When it comes to apparel, most of us think of Long Beach Impressions. That is easily the best show for apparel, but Printing United has essentially doubled the apparel space each year since it became Printing United. Years ago, Printing United was SGIA. It was all, again, sign and offset. That's what this show was all about. Not that it's an issue, but again, the demand for these types of products has gone down over the years. More things are digital. We don't have to print everything. And that's why apparel has also seen a big growth. It's become a big part of the show. So yeah, Colin, we see a little bit of everything. I'm so out of my element compared to apparel. I know what this is. This is a flatbed UV printer.
Would be there that I could upgrade these stories.
Very cool stuff. Yeah, what's cool about this show is, you have both sides of it. You have this side and the apparel side. Obviously, we're much more in tune with the apparel side of things, but hey, you can come to this trade show and get the best of both worlds.
But we've gone to a lot of shops that we've toured that have equipment from this room.
Yeah,
and they want to be that one stop. At this, you could start your own newspaper practically.
Yeah, this thing's moving, man.
Yeah, you think it's moving?
Now it stops right when we get to it.
Well, and what's interesting about this industry is you have a lot of post-press going on. So this is, a printer that is digitally, I don't even know if it was actually printing or if it was just running it, just to then be cut. But there's a lot of different things that happen to the product after it's been printed. If it's sign, it could be grommeted, hem.
Right, here's Mamaki. I mean, obviously, if you're watching this video, you probably heard of Mamaki. They do quite a bit of different things. I mean, they're not just limited to a couple things.
Yeah, Colin, I just saw this sign said starting at $189,000.
189K.
189K. That's cheap compared to some of this stuff in the room. So again, you see a lot of flatbed printers. You see roll-to-roll. Mamaki's definitely known for eco-solvent and UV. But look at this thing. It's just massive. Now that, I'm going to take a wild guess, kind of looks like a sublimation because you can see how dull the ink is on there. That's classic sublimation, the way it looks before it's actually been pressed. So, yeah, I mean, you got a little bit of everything in here. And what's also interesting, Colin, is we're starting to see apparel equipment in this section. We're starting to see this sign stuff in the apparel.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's a lot of overlap. Right here, again, another sublimation printer. You can see it's printing out the panels so that they can then be cut and sewn into a finished garment. Check this out, Colin. If you ever wonder, how the heck do they print a box? Well, check this out. All these folding capabilities that can go on. It's all about automation. Can you print this and then fold it yourself? Yeah, you could. But if we can put a nice stack of it over here in the hopper, and then it goes over there and gets folded by the end, that is some really cool automation.
Right, yeah, this is some really cool technology. It's something that your average person has no idea how it's done. So it's cool to see this up close.
Yeah, I can't imagine getting into this space. I am never going to put down, hey, don't buy equipment, but something to keep in mind, there's a lot of wholesale trade partners out there that will decorate at a really good price.
What do we have going on here?
Looks like it's unraveling. I have no idea. I don't know why you need them all cut, but there's probably a reason. But
yeah, guy, if you guys know what that is, drop a comment and let us know.
But yeah, you've got a lot of wholesale trade partners who have this equipment. They're here at the show. They're then going to print for you at such a good price that if you don't have the high demand, required to make one of these investments, or you don't have the staff to learn and do it yourself, hey, just outsource it. I mean, you should always outsource something.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with outsourcing.
Nothing. Your customer
does not care. You can make a whole
care.
career off of just outsourcing.
Yeah, I'm asked every day, if you could do it all over again, what would you do? Wouldn't buy a single piece of equipment. It's never been easier to outsource. It's all about being lean these days. And again, it's a lot harder to find the staff, retain them, and just, yeah. Hey, if you outsource something, they can't call off on you.
Right.
If the equipment breaks, it's not you having to stress about getting it fixed. I remember seeing this last year, these gigantic robotic arms.
Look at the size of that thing.
I mean, again, could you imagine bringing this equipment and setting it up for 3 days of show? But they do, because that's how good this show is. That's how many people are attending it to learn and really make purchases.
That's just crazy.
But my father-in-law, he actually helped me work on my screen printing equipment last week, and I was asking him, hey, in your industry and in your 150-person shop, do you guys have difficulty keeping those employees and training them and so forth? Absolutely. And it's another reason to go digital, because when you go digital, whenever it makes sense, the learning curve for the operator is so much less. That's pretty cool, Colin. I don't know if I'd call it cutting or if it's I think we're thinking of milling, because it's not a CO2 laser. It's got to be styrofoam.
That's cool.
Colin, when's the last time you saw Sharp logo? Talking about Fujifilm, Sharp.
Yeah, that's not common.
Again, you see engraving machines in here. There's a lot of overlap between apparel and signage and offset paper.
Yeah, Sharp is not a big household name anymore.
Not anymore. They were.
But hey, based off of the size of this booth, man, they're not hurting for money.
Well, it's kind of funny how many times you think, they don't make this product anymore. Well, they've essentially changed what they do. Colin, what are they doing here? Look, we're feeding it through. It's not finishing over here. I got to think it's doing like a trifold. No,
you see this
Colin, it's all the way over here. Look.
It's still going, guys.
And look, you want to know how they can do mass mailing and get a different name on every single one of them? How about this Fusion Speed Machine, which is almost 360?
Wow, that's cool. I mean, it's just flying through this machine.
And if you're doing this much volume, like at my father-in-law's shop, they actually have, they're like technically a USPS facility. You know, when you do such volume, you literally are like the post office practically. I mean, even over here, I see productivity software. So again, you have your DecoNetworks built for this industry. And again, you're going to need shop management if you're going to be running equipment like that and you want to keep everybody organized. This is such a large show. I mean, we can't view it all, Colin, but again, Print United Expo, even if you're just an apparel decorator, it's fun to walk through this space, see how things are made. You know, it triggers your brain and makes you start thinking, you know, I wonder if we took our equipment, we just did that one little thing like they do to apparel, maybe it'll make my DTF life easier.
Right.
You know,
we're definitely going to focus these on, you know, the apparel side as far as the shop tour. So if you haven't seen those yet, please look those up because we're going to go pretty in depth with the apparel side. But
looks like we have ink cups. Ink cups, very well known for pad printing. I got guillotine cutters over here. So again, it's just going to come down, cut the paper for you. So again, a little bit of everything. It just keeps going, Colin. So again, guys, Print United Expo next year will be in Orlando, Florida in October. Not a bad time to be in Orlando. I'm already planning my Disney World trip before the show. So really excited. Print United Expo, easily the top 2 best shows for apparel. If you're looking to get the whole experience of all things printing, there's not a better show. And in 3 days, you couldn't probably see every booth you want to. It's just that big. So guys, check out Print United Expo and learn more about all things printing, whether it be apparel, sign, or offset. Hey guys, we're here at the Graphics Pro Expo in Long Beach, California, and with me today is the founder and owner of GarmentPrinter.com, Fern Padilla.
Thanks.
How's it going, Fern?
I'm doing great, doing great. It's a Saturday morning session, last day for the show. We've had some good success thus far. The density has been decent to really good, and fortunately we have a nice showcased area where people can stop and see all the pedigree that we bring to the table. But either way, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of build up your ego a little bit, but in all seriousness,
I'll let you.
I like your booth more than any other one here because, you know, you're kind of doing it all. I mean, you're a one-stop shop at GarmentPrinter.com and everything from DTG, DTF, HTV, EcoSolvent,
embroidery,
UV.
laser, experienced technician, supplies, 35 years. I could help you finish your sentences at this point at this rate. But either way, no, thank you for that.
So let's go check out the show.
Sure.
So Graphics Pro, it's a little bit different than an Impressions show, which is, Impressions is really focused on apparel. This is going to be a little bit more additionally signage and engraving. Again, it's a little bit broader, kind of like a Printing United, a miniature Printing United show.
Correct. I think this is for the soft side of the business, which is where I really flex. The soft side of the business being apparel.
I mean, we got Samo right here.
All the branding. You know, you do have your customers and your distributors that do support that, but as you notice, the ISS really is the one where that has all the other things. But GPX, great show. One thing that we've noticed here, we've been coming here for many years, is that the quality of the conversations we have. These are actual business people. These are people that, hey, I'm in the game. I'm looking to stay relevant in my game, and at the same time, that's a good opportunity for me. Hey, because you are in a business, you're talking to customers. They need the soft side as well, not just in lasered cups. Embellish this, laser cutting for trophies and plaques and awards and engraving. They are talking to somebody that needs apparel. So when we present ourselves and show the way we do it on the fun, creative, artistic approach, yeah, it does well. It does well. We have those great conversations. Plus, we're also notice at this type of show, again, there's real big players. I really swim nicely in the cottage sector, as you know, but in this world, there's some nice sized accounts, companies with the big facilities are not afraid of making some big investments, and we definitely have those quality conversations.
So here's like something though, Fern. We got a Cybertruck here, and they're wrapping it. I mean, this started as silver. Now they've got this nice metallic gold on there.
I dig it. I totally like it. Okay.
I mean, this is stuff you don't see at Impressions. Like you said, Impressions all about soft goods. Here we've got hard goods.
Correct.
It's not necessarily.
It's still decorating, believe it or not. But yes, I get it. Amazing.
I mean, here on DecoNetwork doesn't exclusively say, hey, you can do vehicle reps, you can do signage, but guess what? You can. We actually have clients who will upload images of a panel truck, or you could even do a Cybertruck, and all it is add a box, customer can drop it. Is it going to be your final exact artwork that you're going to download? No, but they can visually get it, and then you can mock it up. But
well, the technology, the tools of technology nowadays, yeah, everything is possible, et cetera, without having to commit a dime to your experience here. So I totally get it. It's funny we're talking about this because I had a lengthy conversation with they're big. These guys are coders. They're always looking for new opportunities. They have DTG under control in a big way. And they said, Fern, we wanna look into the car wrapping business. I go, we need to go to SEMA. Okay, first of all, because that's where you see that. That's a great show if you haven't been. So because part of their vision was being able to give that online experience, print the things and ship it to individuals. I go, there's some pluses and minuses. I see we got to identify and how do we proof this concept out. But right now, I think because most of the guys that have a car of this nature, or they have whatever their car is, they really want to white glove that experience. If they want to do it their own, I haven't seen that. They usually want to pay somebody to do it. But again, this is the type of healthy dialogue that I see with the guys that are just looking for new opportunities, and that I could absolutely appreciate and respect. But no, it's funny. This is a great market, very saturated market, I'd have to say. So those who do a great job, like I'm seeing here, obviously, will continue to do well. Okay, but.
Yep. No, and behind us is Rapson University. So at a trade show like this, not only are you seeing cars being wrapped, but you can actually be taught and shown how the actual process works.
Well, as we know, every industry is thirsty for information, thirsty for how-tos, thirsty to, hey, how could I do that myself? I want to do that myself. So, no, the fact they have this type of environment, it's again, just another way for people to express what they want to do, become independent, or, again, just stay relevant with what's going on in the trade.
And I've checked out your YouTube. You're getting really good at producing a lot of that content and education. I mean, what I've always said, content is king.
No, absolutely. Content, quality content. Quality content. You know, I've been doing this for 35 years, started in the embroidery side, but ever since the digital came to the world, again, it's just everything is just explosive, and being able to take advantage of the technologies, take advantage of the affordability of the technologies, take advantage of the tools that are available. Now it's just, what's your direction? And that's another thing that we really do identify at the shows.
Everything from a Mamaki UV printer, which I know you got at your booth.
Right.
We got flatbed UV, eco solvent. Again, we got another Cybertruck that they're about to drop this wrap on. And that's how you write something off right there, right? Just brand it. And,
I've seen those write-offs. I certainly have. I've been coached myself, so I'm not going to go to this degree. But yeah, I get it.
Oh yeah, I'll just
Amazing.
throw the logo on the side, make a little magnet. But again, what differentiates this show is a lot of essentially the signage. If you go to like a PPAI show, you're going to see more of the promo product world.
Correct.
What was the other show that you talked about that is also primarily signage? Was it?
We talked about Print United, the ISA.
ISA, that's it.
Yeah.
ISA is a big show.
They're monster shows, absolutely. And back to, again, not concerns, it's just there's so much to see, in such a small amount of time. You have to be careful of where you want to position your company, position the assets that you bring to the table. And there are some tools like the Mamaki brand of equipment. Those are broad spread, versus a Brother printer, that's more apparel. So, that kind of, those things need to be considered when you want to exhibit at these type of shows. But again, you got to go regardless. If you're in the game, you're in the business, you got to diversify, stay relevant with information, and check out different shows, because that's how you find these opportunities. When you are just stuck in just one lane and not constantly exploring different ways of doing things, you're limiting yourself. So again, if you want to grow, you definitely have to stay on top of the curve of getting the information. And then when these shows come to you, remember, take advantage of going. It's affordable. It's a write-off. Again, as we know, take the wife, find a babysitter for the kids and just get out there.
Watch it, because my wife keeps bringing it up, and I'm like, oh gosh.
Well, my wife's with me all the time, so I'll still throw you under. It's okay.
So let's take a quick lap around. Again, my favorite booth as far as the way you got it all set up, and you are doing more than just, most booths here, DTF. It's everyone's favorite new decoration
I'm not even sure anybody else has DTG here, to be perfectly honest with you.
You do.
We're seeing it left and right. Let's start by walking over there if you don't mind.
Yep, we're back here though. We got a UV roll-to-roll. Then we have a UV DTF roll-to-roll.
Right. So DTG, again, it's been around, it's proven, it's a concept that makes a lot of sense. But again, we're talking about there's a business model there, there's a business model here, there's a business model here, there's a growth opportunity. Again, this right here actually plugs into the bigger digital line system, so you could see, it's all under one belt. So all that matters when you're choosing your right manufacturer. But again, this is a real viable business. It's been around for many years, and we've been in it since it started in 2004 when I saw my first machine, 2005 when we started selling the machines, and we've been at it ever since. So we've seen the evolution, the journey, and it's not dead at all. It's more about, it's another way to decorate apparel. Screen printing is one way, DTG is one way, DTF is one way. I was always asked, is the screen printing going to go away? Absolutely not.
It's not.
Absolutely not.
No.
This is just a different way to address and be that traffic cop and make that right decision. This has to go to screen print because it sells automatically. It's one color, it's 1,000 pieces. No, even if I broker it out. Here, no, I want the smaller stuff I'm turning away. I'm able to do it. I really want to go online in a big way. Again, you have that entire curve. So DTG, not dead at all. And in fact, we're looking at our numbers. I go, no, it's still up there. Now DTF makes a nice twist to the whole thing. Again, this right here in the early days, I would have tried to DTG it. Okay, and we probably could have done it and it would have been a pain, but now with DTF, it's like, nope, take measurements, zip, slap. Okay, so again, that kind of stuff you couldn't do before. So I see, again, everything has a specific lane. But as we go from DTG, again, everything being digital, I remember those guys.
Well, and the cliche is there's a lot of different tools in the tool belt, every decoration process.
Right.
Hey, there is a hammer, there's a screwdriver, there's a drill.
Yes.
And a screwdriver and a drill are very similar. But if you try to take a drill certain times, you could really screw it up.
Yep.
Or do you want to, if you're building a deck, do you really want to use a screwdriver each time? So every decoration process is a time and place. Sometimes they can do the same job, but is it going to be the best tool for the job? And one of my favorite things, and this is also what's always hurt me being young, is there's so many different ways you can make money. And there's so many different business models.
Slow down.
A big tip, pick your niche, your business model, and pursue it. I started in this industry when I was 20. I was like, oh my gosh, I can do stores, I can do B2C, B2B, do contract. Let's do it all at once. That's where I always made the biggest mistake.
The shotgun approach, I've seen that plenty of times. It's like, it's easy to get excited and good, but yeah, as a business owner, and what are your goals? If your goals are to monetize off your passion, as you put it, what is your passion lane? Find it and just stay on that river until you got that on autopilot, and then what's the next thing and the next thing, and you just, but linear focus here. My passion, and I think it's celebrated here, it's more about, hey, we're apparel decorators, you know, and again, I'm doing stuff. This is UV DTF. This is traditionally for our hard goods. This is for plaques. This is for all this whole case was decorated with UV DTF. But by accident, a fun accident, we tried it on a cap. Hey, that looks cool. And because, again, it's a polyester shell, that glue sticks on it oh so nicely. Whereas if I did a poplin or anything else, doesn't stick nice, it doesn't look great. But again, we're able to go beyond the basic box and just making sure that we're always experimenting and enjoying. But again, now I have different reasons to justify this thing. My little pin, where's yours, by the way?
Oh, I have it in my book bag.
Little pin with the tools that we have here, I'm able to systemize. I got one for you.
You engraved it?
We printed it.
No, not engraved. I'm sorry. You did cut it though. You had a piece of plastic that you started with.
Yeah. We have a laser, entry-level lasers, mid-range lasers, big industrial lasers. We have lasers for textile. So I could only fit so much here. So, but at that, we're having an open house actually next Friday and Saturday, and that's where everybody can see all the other technologies that we have.
So whether somebody's, just looking to get started, entry-level equipment for a decoration process.
Correct.
Like right over here, we had the GTX Pro, great DTG machine.
Correct.
And then you have the 600.
Correct.
Different price point, different capabilities, speed, size of print. But again, you guys offer a little bit of everything, whether, again, you're just trying to get started or, hey,
Correct.
I've got huge volume, I need the biggest machine.
I got big plans. It's funny because some of our biggest customers know nothing about apparel, zero. They know everything about coding and marketing. It just happens to be apparel that is their execution. But so that's the audience that, as you just pointed, we believe that if I could take care of my backyard, my core audience, my crafters, my enthusiasts, if I got total command of that, then everything else just will manifest because I'm starting with them. If they want to grow, guess what? They're coming to me for their journey. But all that noise and excitement that they bring, I see the big boys now looking at us and saying, oh, I thought brothers were just for little entry-level people. No, not at all. It's all the same print head pretty much on all machines. That's powerful. I've been back to the vertical manufacturing of this type of system. So yeah, it's a journey. We have any part of the rainbow we could pretty much cover when it comes to talking to our company, garmentprinter.com.
So what might a UV printer, because this is a little bit of a larger, UV DTF printer.
Correct.
What's something like this go for?
We're talking, well, again, the pricing's right here. $20,500 is the entry level. As you know, if you do a lease, that's only a couple $100 a month. It's a very affordable tool. But the things you could do with it, again, when we're talking about if you're in the apparel stuff, again, it allows you to do fun, creative things like that. This was also a UV DTF sticker for a slap book that these artists are all about. This was also UV DTF.
And every decoration process can be done well or poorly. And one of the main ways to decorate drinkware, which is one of your most popular non-apparel products in our industry, is the fear that, if you put it in the dishwasher, it's going to break down.
Right.
Well, a year ago when I first started playing around with UV DTF, I didn't have that much success when I would outsource, transfer, apply it. I'll tell you, everything gets better over time. It's amazing how durable it is. The other thing to remember with DTF and UV DTF is it's a transfer. So not every job has to be applied by you.
Correct.
You can outsource it. The semi-issue there is it's become a very saturated market when it comes to transfers, especially with DTF. One way to differentiate yourself, to have a UV DTF, and hey, not only do we carry the apparel and anything fabric that we're going to heat apply, hard goods.
Absolutely,
you got that, so
absolutely.
you could be pumping them out, do what you need to do in-house, send them to whatever shop that also needs it and hasn't taken the dive yet.
Yeah, again, the versatility of this, it's mind-blowing. It really is. It does open up, if you're just a small cottage company here, it does diversify you just like that. Yes, you could go with your average customers, but again, I have some people coming in from the auto industry. I go, hey, I need these things for my decorating my dashboards or stuff like that. This is the stuff to do it. Again, the whole, just by having the technology allowed that opportunity to present itself. When we're talking about this gentleman, he was actually part of, I support what we call the Love Drop. When COVID hit, Wahoo's Fish Tacos, which is a franchise out here, I know the owner pretty well. He developed the California Love Drop, and he got all kinds of people to support him. What he would do, he would take free lunches to all the frontliners. So we do free garb, we give this. One of those gentlemen that helped them, he has his own little candy company. He's an executive chef at the Ritz-Carlton, I believe, but he also has his little side hustle, and he was having a struggle branding his little boxes in order to get them to the Ritz-Carltons, get them into other stores, because everybody wanted their little brand. Guess what? We showed him this, put Pelican Hill, put this thing out, his salespeople out there, orders are coming in like crazy. So that, again, this guy's a chef, didn't realize, but again, this is the stuff from a soft-sided good, the guy in the apparel sector, but this type of technology created that opportunity. So it's for a couple of...
Smallest learning curve, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Digital. Can you apply a sticker? Because my 4-year-old can, and it's actually been kind of dangerous when I brought UV-DTF stickers in the house, and I'm like, I got to be careful leaving it around with my daughter.
See, this is UV-DTF.
And it's got that 3-dimensional look and feel, which also just the perceived value goes up.
It throws the skateboard guys wacko. They say, wait a minute here. How did you do that? How did you do that? Again, just technique, technology, a little experimentation, and I'm all about systems. It has to be easy, and there's reasons that this is designed the way it's designed. But
so, like on DecoNetwork, just so you guys know, we don't have a catalog of skateboards. You can upload an image of any product, such as a blank
2.0,
skateboard,
2.0.
and now you can drop all that artwork on there, and your customer get that real-time visualization using the design tool. And back in the day, I bet your skateboard guys would be like, okay, how many hundreds of these do I gotta buy?
Exactly.
And that's where I think, with you guys, garmentprinter.com, you really started.
I'm so proud of you.
I know you are. But you guys really focus a lot on, hey, there is a no minimum, because that's what, Amazon and so forth, hey, I want it tomorrow, and I don't want to have to buy a ton.
You're wrong. I want it yesterday.
I want
it yesterday. No, you're absolutely wrong. Yeah. We are, believe it or not, we are in the mass personalization industry, with what we do. We've had the wholesale, the big production for many, many years. It's been there as means of business. But now with digital, with technology, as you alluded to, being able to do cost effectively, that's what digital brings to our world here. So yes, so when we say that and hear that, it's changing everything. When we sold stuff to Disney had, what stores that they have inside? It was that wasn't CNN. It was I forgot. They have a brand inside. Before, they had to have so much political stuff to have branded T-shirts. Now, guess what? They bought printers, digital printers, got rid of everything, just posted, and people are just choosing and printing on demand. This is in the early days. But just to see that from there to now, again, we're seeing these guys that are doing the online fulfillment of 10,000 unique items every single day at a minimum, and then it segues into stickers, same thing, segues into DTF, same thing, just one. But electronics and digital game plans allows that to happen.
And two things there to piggyback off. So I got in the industry, my best friend in college and just growing up, his dad owned a restaurant, and they had a 2-hour wait every single day, and they were kind of selling some T-shirts. And it's like, if you're gonna wait 2 hours for a meal, you're gonna spend $14 on a T-shirt. Every time they sold one, they're making $8 off of a shirt.
Right.
It's almost more than the meal. So when we went in there, we would stock shirts and so forth, but we would also set up a website, because guess what? The women don't want the unisex black T-shirt only. Let them go online, choose the style, the color they want.
You understood your audience.
And then we had DTG to then fulfill it. And now with this stuff, again, it's all about even low. It's great at low run, but it's not bad at high run either.
No.
And a Mamaki like UV printer or an eco solvent printer, same thing. It's a digital printer using CMYK ink. And in this case, you even have clear and white with this.
So guess what? All that extra vinyl that's fading away, you know, I have orange that I bought. I can't use it. Put it in here because you have the white ink. All the specialty media, you know, some of the things that we're executing with, you know, this has a specialty media inside of it. It's a glitter, and we're playing with the gradients, not just a flat, you know, spot color. We're playing with the shades of gradients, the transparency of the gradients to take advantage of the reflective material behind it. I could do one.
Yep.
I can do one. And when people see one, they want more. So that's the beauty of all this.
Digital printers have gotten cheaper, better, and the consumables have also gotten tremendously cheaper. I mean, I remember when I got into DTG, it was pretty easy to have, you know, $7 worth of ink and a very large print. Those days are kind of over, and DTF is even shrinking a little bit more.
I used to say when DTG first started, you need 3 ones. A printer for a T-shirt for $1, a print for $1, and your labor for $1. You know, but that has come down. It's come down considerably. Now we're at 14 cents a cc, and based on how many machines you have, we could give you even more discounts.
Yeah.
But so there's plans for all that. But yeah, I've seen the ink price go from here to okay, fine, and it's still again compared to other print medias, it's still the other way. But it's again, I could get the maximum margin by being able to do that one. You know, so that's what people and easily is the key.
So in this room, DTF is the main apparel printing piece of equipment.
Right.
I walk through the room. I always check off how many DTG printers I see, DTF, screen printers, and DTF is probably 70% of this room. And, you know, there's a lot of like, well, which one do I go with?
Right,
and in my opinion, the next big thing is being able to just hit the colors perfectly. You know, how do you differentiate yourself from another shop offering the same exact process?
I do what we call, and I subscribe to this all my adult life, is just listen to your customer. What do they need? Be that doctor. Ask the right questions. Probe them. Where are you now? What can I solve here? Where do you want to go? Let's understand that journey and then help you navigate. So again, part of our credo is making sure that we can deliver that message regardless of where you are on the rainbow. But back to what you said about DTF. Yes, DTF right now, 8-color systems is the next trends that I see right now. Everybody's doing CMYK, and don't get me wrong, does amazing work, etc. CMYK is what 95% of the industry, unless you're in the real photography-based stuff with gradients and whatnot. That's when you need to talk that type of equipment. But in the apparel decorating sector, you didn't need to get that detailed. But now we are. We're absolutely there. Where somebody could choose a Mimaki or choose a Brother, and those are great. But some of them are faster, some of them are a little more expensive, and then some of them have more color. And that's what this particular machine does have 8 colors, which allows some nice differences. Again, just traditional CMYK prints and putting it in a special 8-color mode, I could have more vibrancy. So you could see just by being able to do that and playing with my rip, I could see some subtle difference. Now, if people can't notice a difference, I go, this technology may not be with you. This is for the educated eye. This is for the guy that has to have that Coca-Cola red or, some other things, this pastel. I gotta have that based on the colors that guess what? You're not gonna go in on other 4-color systems. But again, it is a slower technology, but again, it's still a quality, it's fast enough. Let me rephrase that. But again, I'm over here working on a 3rd bedroom. I don't need to do 30,000 sheets a day, etc. I need to do my couple dozen for my brand or for sampling, whatever the case may be. So again, every piece of equipment has its place. But as I continue this journey, you'll see some nice differences just between going, and remember, these were all printed throughout the system. And here's a good example here. Again, here we are in Lakertown, and in the early days, this is all I had to work with. I had to find what's the best color purple here just to get away with it, for lack of a better word. But by putting it in the 8-color mode, same exact piece of art, you could see that difference in my purples now versus the others. Okay, so that is where the specific tool applies. If you're here in LA, fashion, color. The other ones, I could probably tweak and get close enough, but it can't be close enough to these artisans that we deal with all the time. So yeah, that is what this particular subset of a technology brings, but it is the next thing, and you're right.
Yep, so again, you're full of knowledge, Fern. garmentprinter.com, guys. You can learn a lot about a lot of different decoration process. Fern is a great guy. He treated us to a Dodger game.
That's why you're getting all this great love out here.
We love you, man. So, again.
It was a great game, by the way. Tell him 4 home runs in 1 inning.
Shohei Ohtani hitting home runs.
Yeah, I was amazing. I was actually envious, but okay, to a good guy, I'm okay.
Garmentprinter.com, guys.
Thanks for hearing me out.
Thanks, Fern.
Okay, you got it.
Hey guys, we're at the Pretty Night Expo in Las Vegas with Charlie Ronda. My Spanish is pretty bad. Ronda Pro?
Ronda Pro in Puerto Rico.
Ronda Pro. Hey, if you're thinking about, I mean, you guys are the print shop in Puerto Rico. Hey, you can bob your head. How many screen presses do you have in the shop?
Oh, we have two automatics only. Puerto Rico is a small island, so we don't we don't have a lot of volume.
But you are blue, right?
I'm a blue. I'm an M&R guy.
You can't really go wrong with M&R, right?
No.
And Charlie, I mean, you're a screen printer by trade, but you've kind of seen as a shift over the past handful of years, correct?
Yeah, I think the market is going mostly to print on demand, so it's lower volumes. You know, a lot of the promotional and corporate stuff is going to social media budgets.
Yep.
So I've seen the market. The volume's getting low in orders and all that. You don't find those 10,000 shirts that you're going to throw away anymore.
Yep.
It's like you have to adjust to keep being responsible on your business.
Yeah, and I know exactly, when DTG first came about, we were all told, oh, this is going to be the print-on-demand method and so forth. And it definitely is, but it's also wasn't as great as everything, always.
When I got a DTG machine like 8 years ago. I'm not going to name the brand, right? But the problem with DTG is, you have to print every day, right?
Yes, you do.
So you have to have an e-commerce structure that can support that, so you get the small orders every day.
Which DecoNetwork does. You've just always focused on really the bread and butter of the software, which is the order management, and that is obviously the most important part.
DecoNetwork for me was mostly about production and try to be as sharp as possible on production-wise, more than on the front end for sales.
So, you've seen this.
But now I see this shift. I need the front end stuff.
But, again, when it comes to the shift, so print on demand, you've got a few that really, again, DTG obviously, DTF, and you have also
white toner printer ink.
And the white toners really came a long way over the last handful of years.
A long way. And they're more flexible. White toners, you can do one piece. You don't have to maintain the print heads as much. It's a printer. So it doesn't matter if you don't print in a week or 10 days or 20 days. You don't need that maintenance. Like, for example, for DTG, you have to print. You have to print even though it has come a lot, but you have to print. You have to keep that. You have to keep that head clean all the time.
Well, that's the difference. Toner versus DTG and DTF are using a water-based ink. Water evaporates, and if it evaporates in the print head, you will destroy your $1,200 print heads. And
if you get it at $1,200.
Yeah, I mean,
the problem is the print head. The print head is a technology from the 90s, so it hasn't advanced that much. So obviously the change on the print head is not on the change is not on the print head. It's on the inks that you have to keep constantly improving, so the print head could work better.
Well, and then to make the ink work better and have less problems, what do? They dump glycol and other chemicals in there, which are exactly not the safest stuff. So you got to be very careful, and it's also so new, especially with DTF, that we don't know all of the side effects and so forth. I mean, there's definitely ways, using a fume extractor and other things, properly exhausting, very, very important, but they're putting some chemicals in these inks to make sure that they're not drying as often, and that's a trade-off, in other places.
We don't know about that. We just printers and sales guys. Those are for the mad scientist guys that, they take time to try to develop these products, and these chemicals to try to make it softer, try to make it feel more like a screen print, which is not easy.
No, it's not, and we are our biggest critics. One thing to keep in mind though, the hand typically from DTF or white toner isn't always as good as screen print and so forth, but
or DTG.
Or DTG. But we are going to judge a lot more than our customers.
Exactly. Our customers, they don't know exactly. You know, if you want somebody who wants, if you want somebody who wants 12 T-shirts for a bridesmaid party, they don't care if it's screen printed or DTF or DTG. You know. The other day I went to a site that it told you, do you want DTF, DTG? And I'm like, why are you asking? Because that customer doesn't know. You know, it's like you can explain what it is.
Yep.
But you don't have to ask them because they're not going to know.
One of my favorite shops that we've ever toured, and just great guy, Pete Bolsoni at Same Day Tees, on his DecoNetwork account, he calls it just full color printing. When the job comes in, they look at the artwork, the size, and so forth. Then they go digital squeegee, DTG, or DTF. They decide what route to go. Customer has no clue. They don't care.
They don't have the technical knowledge to pick.
No, and
especially in small volume, right?
And again, customer would rather see a perfect print with a not as good hand than a less perfect print with a softer hand. That's just, we thought it was, and it still is a big deal to some customers.
Yeah, but it's important to us.
It is important.
Because we touch it every day. We know about it every day. We know about the difficulty of getting that touch. You know, they just want a shirt for that party that Saturday.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I've seen some shops that are pumping out thousands of DTF prints a week, and I'll tell you, they're doing pretty good. And over here, one cool thing about M&R, you know, they call it, they're 4 processes. So you have screen, you have digital squeegee, you have DTG, and DTF. So what they do is they actually print all of this, a lot of the times the same artwork, on 4 different types of those processes. So you can see the side-by-side comparison. Okay, this is the way it's going to feel. This is what your costs are and so forth. Another thing though, I mean, you traveled all the way here from Puerto Rico. What are you hoping to get out of this show?
Well, because some of you have to be up to trend to what's happening, you know, technology, obviously what's happening in the industry. Now with the AI stuff, you have to be on top of it to know how the AI could help your business, even marketing or automatization or whatever situation you can get the most out of it. You have to invest in your business and knowledge.
You bringing up AI, the 3 tools we like to use, Vectorizer.ai, ChatGPT, Midjourney. Those are 3 tools that I think every shop should be looking at using, and most of them are free, or you're looking at a very minimal cost and what it can do. You know, here in the States, you know, labor's getting harder and harder to obtain and keep and so forth. Do you have that challenge down in Puerto Rico?
Yes, obviously labor is like, especially, you know, in this is a generation thing. You know, I'm more on the other side. So most of the young people, they want to do their own stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're having technologies like DTF and all that stuff, you know, they say like, why am I going to spend 8 hours standing up on a screen print machine? I want to try myself. I can buy a cheap machine, Chinese machine or whatever for less than 10K or something like that. And they jump themselves at the opportunity. So it's hard, you know. You gotta treat your people well. You gotta pay them well.
Yep.
So you can have a healthy team.
Have you been to the Print United Expo before?
I was when it was SGIA.
SGIA?
Yeah.
So what do you think of this show though now?
No, actually, it has impressed me a lot. And for us printers, you know, sometimes you go to like Long Beach, which is a great show, right? ISSO. But there you're seeing more like the products, the t-shirts, the hoodies, the new stuff, right?
Yep.
This is totally centered in printing.
Right, it's more of the equipment world.
And you lose less time looking at shirts. As you know, sometimes you look at 80 different styles and you're going to keep selling the same 10 shirts.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much, Charlie,
for
taking the time to talk with us. Again, guys, Ronda Pro.
I've been a customer of DecoNetwork, I think, like from day one.
Yeah, you're over 10 years for sure.
For sure. I remember I sent them a list of stuff they do for production because I always told Deco, you know, forget about selling if you don't find the way to have the production correctly. Well, you can sell a lot, but on the back end, you need to have that organized.
Well, if you sign up you know, all the way back then when I signed up, there was no production management. No. Software was green.
I sent a punch list like 25 things that they needed to do, because for us printers, what we want to, you know, be more effective printing.
Yep.
You know, back in the day, you didn't have to do a lot to sell. You know, the focus was to produce and be as effective as possible.
Well, and you know, even we at DecoNetwork completely agree with like the print on demand shift and so forth. Real excited to get the Shopify integration out there here real soon.
Oh,
and that again is going to bring, you know, give you the ability to connect to those influencers, whoever, who already has a Shopify site, and you want to get that order in the order management system. Because that's the bread and butter of the software. But again, you can also provide those sites to your customer. Thank you again so much, Charlie, for taking the time.
Thank you, guys.
Guys, check out Rhonda Print. And if you're in Puerto Rico and need a shirt, he's the guy.
Thank you.